you have to know the double
trouble. Nice.
I'm not the usual person that does this. I'm filling in.
Intern.
He's the interim Danny Palm. That should have done it though.
You see the
According to me, we are live.
We
are live at the show before the show.
Your mic is so loud. That's unbelievable.
Okay, let's take that down a little bit.
Did you guys
test?
Anybody who tuned in right from the beginning just got blasted in the ears by Ryan. That was awesome.
Is this better?
That's much better.
Much better.
Great job. Real proud of you.
I'm proud of me too.
Audio is like the hardest thing.
It's not fun. Do you do like audio mixing or anything?
No, because it's the hardest.
It sucks. It's the worst.
I purposely avoid it.
Welcome to the show before the show
with Nick Patragas.
Patragas.
No.
It's been happening my whole life. It's cool.
That's interesting. What's the ethnicity there?
You should have told him he misspelled Nick. I mean, he missaid Nick, the Nick part.
Nike.
Greek.
Duh. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, look at you. You look like a Greek statue. Let's go.
And I miss the nice bronze skin.
A Greek statue.
Yeah, more like statue
with old men clothes on.
I know.
Let's talk about this fit real quick. Also, just make sure you like get up on.
Okay,
that's the one rule of podcasting.
I get you.
Wait, I gotta do this again, huh?
What'd you forget to do?
I mean, just
cut the cameras. Yeah.
It's been on you the whole time.
Literally nobody wants that. That's the worst possible camera to leave it on. But I want to talk about the fit because you showed up and I'm very impressed.
So, okay, I promise I wasn't trying to impress. I have always dressed like an old man. I own like 50 cardigans or something.
That's awesome.
And they're just comfortable. I started wearing them when I was like a teenager or something. And I was like, wow, I can never go up from here.
It doesn't get any better than this.
It doesn't get any more comfortable. I do probably do overkill because I like layer them. Like I got two.
Wait, you got a double cardigan on?
Yeah, I have two cardigans on.
So I did see a comment on Facebook talking about the cardigan game. So it's delivering, I gotta say.
I have two on them. My
Dungeons and Dragons Dungeons and Dragons shirt under that. Dude, this is beautiful. That's a strong play in the hat. I mean, the headphones ruined the hat a little bit, but the hat was completely ballin'. I wear goofy hats to the events. You'll see one on Saturday. So that's kind of my game too. But that's a sick hat. Corduroy too. I mean, come on, dude.
I just want to apologize to the viewers.
Dude, if you don't like talking about clothes.
No, not that. Not that. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh, okay.
Can you remind me, is preview what they see or is
program is what they see?
Program is what they see. So if I hit
Jaden Blake says that hat is baller, by the way. He knows.
Thank you.
Jaden Blake knows what's up.
I appreciate it. This was my grandfather's hat. So I wear half his clothes. God rest him. And it's very comfortable.
I mean, does it feel cool to you to be wearing your grandfather's clothes too? Because I feel like that's pretty awesome.
Cool is a strong word. Cool is a strong word. Comfortable is a very good word for it.
My to ease my awkwardness there, this hat was actually from my wife's grandfather.
Oh, cool.
Who passed away as well. And every time I wear it, I'm like, it's nice to have like a piece of him with it.
Mm-hmm.
Extra meaning.
Mine, I guess it was like almost 5 years now. Oh shit. But sometimes I swear like it still smells like him. And that's kind of nice. Like it smells like his wood shop.
Like comforting.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice.
That's a nice memory to carry around with you, dude. I love that. I love that you have that. So I want to talk about, dude, you've come in. We're not going to like talk about the fight too much since the podcast doesn't officially start until 5. Sure. Some people will probably wait until 5. But I just want to talk about interesting right off the bat, like right off the rip. You've been extremely awesome with your communication, which we always like to see. But you said you're an engineer, I believe, too.
I try.
There's like interesting layers to you already.
I try to be an engineer.
You try.
I've tried very hard. So I work for Harshman CE Group. Yeah, I brought Hunter a hat.
Shout out. Which camera?
Some people got a hat.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I would have stolen one other one. We're municipal engineers, so we do a lot of work for like local townships.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of sewage planning, sewer repair, stuff like that.
So you guys got your work cut out for you right now.
Yeah, Houston looks like a bomb went off.
Which camera is that, Ryan? It just
I
died.
don't know.
Is it the Sony? It's probably the Sony. You might have to turn it off and back on.
What I was gonna say, those two look like they're.
Our Sony's been giving us fits, guys. It's our best camera technically, but it's also the most finicky camera. So it's near your left hand, the power button, other side of the camera. I'm gonna talk Ryan through this.
We're doing a lot.
Up, it's there somewhere. Yep, it's like a switch kind of. No, it's a. Yeah. Did you get it?
No.
It's like a slidey switch.
Hard to see without seeing.
Oh, it's still not 5, so this is perfect. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Break the chair. Oh, Reboot. Hey, if you can't fix something by turning it off and back on, it's actually broken.
That's actually what we tell our clients.
Nice.
Half the time. Did you try turning it on?
Isn't that like an engineer meme almost?
Pretty much.
Have you tried unplugging
because
it?
it's like
IT.
because it works really.
It does. I mean, sometimes you just need a fresh start.
It's hard to tell rainstorms to turn off.
We got one of my best friends on earth just joined the chat, Blake Willard, the best man in my wedding, and he is also he went to school for engineering actually too. So we've got engineer on engineer crime right now. Look at this. But dude, you've got your work cut out for you with the engineering right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How's the last few days been for you?
Well, so the flash flooding didn't really start until last night. And it happened. Like I was going to practice, right?
Mhm.
And it was like bam, bam, bam. Roads were shutting down and everything. And so I was up texting my coworker like till like 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh, did you see Houston? Did you see Oakdale? Like,
Yeah.
the trailer park's gone.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
What's up with where did you say Oakland or Oakdale?
Oakdale.
Yeah, that's where I used to live in Oakdale.
Oh yeah.
That seems like a weird place to flood to me. Is
Oakdale's like awful for flooding.
It's in the
really? I never
floodplain.
knew that.
It's all in the floodplain.
It's like Bridgeville.
Yeah, it's all built in the
Yeah,
floodplain.
it's
I didn't
awful.
realize that.
Yeah.
I guess where I lived,
and we probably got that was probably at least 100-year storm.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the actual show. It's past 5. The push notifications have gone out. I'm here with Nick Patragas. How you like that? How you like that? We're learning. We're learning. I mispronounced his name the first time, but he said everybody does it, so I don't feel bad. How do you know my last name? That's all right.
Is it Homostek or Homostek?
Tomastek. See, the first inclination was wrong, so now I don't feel as bad.
Right,
we both did it. How do you think you say his last name? It's a tough one. You might not know
I
it.
don't know your last name.
Yeah.
Well,
Dang.
you can't tell me.
Okay, hold
Show
on.
it to me.
Do
Show
you
it
know?
to me.
Do you know my first name?
You're Ryan. I know that.
Okay, that's Ryan. Here's his last name.
All right, show it to me.
It's
I'm usually pretty good
It's
with names.
really hard
I
to
think
pronounce.
I think you got this
I
one.
think that's Middleton.
Nice, nailed it.
Man, you crushed that.
It's actually pronounced Jagoff.
Oh,
It's a hard, yeah.
it's an ancient Slavic
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Yeah. Exactly. But Nick, dude, first off, I want to thank you for coming in because we were
course. Thank you
just
for
talking about the
inviting me.
flooding, dude. The roads to get here are not super ideal.
So they were okay coming in. Houston still looks like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
And the creek's actually still pretty high.
It's
but
pretty
it was-
wild.
It was okay.
It's pretty wild. But this is what you do for a living, so nothing new to you.
Yeah, it's not that crazy to me.
And funny enough, I didn't even tell Ryan this, but you were telling me, I don't remember the specifics off the top of my head, but you grew up in this area.
Yeah, so my mother lives right now on 519 across from
Wow.
You know where the Washabaw farm is on the street? It's
Yeah.
right
No,
next to
I've
the
seen
the
see
old
it every
steel
time I
mill, right
leave.
next to
Yeah.
the old steel mill.
Yep.
Yeah, she lives right on the side of it.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you guys, what's Shilling Hill Farms all about? Do you know that place? Do you know any like history of it or
Isn't
anything?
that the one that's like almost it's like across the
Yeah,
street and up
pretty
there?
much.
I
And they
don't
sell
know.
food and
Yeah,
stuff. Their
I know
food's
that.
real good.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
Okay.
be honest.
That's why I was asking, because every time we go
Yeah,
and I get
sorry.
some, I'm like, this is way better than it
Yeah.
has any business being. Like, what is this place's deal? But yeah, dude, we're here to talk more about some fight stuff. Word on the street is you guys hear that knuckle crack? That was impressive. He actually cracked the knuckle. That was sweet. We got a little fight coming up next Saturday, April 20th. What's up with that, dude? How you feeling? How are
Good.
things coming
I
along?
feel great. I won't divulge too many of my secrets. I'm just kidding. I've been training a lot harder than I have been, and it's been a while since I've had a fight. So I was really, and I made it a really big goal of mine a couple years back. Like, I gotta fight again.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually like last April. You guys were at the casino.
Yep.
And I was like, I gotta get to that. But then I was getting married, and I
That's
was like,
kind of important.
wow, I really can't get hurt. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean. So I passed on that, and then I got married, honeymoon. other weddings, stuff like that.
Sure.
And then I was like, all right, this summer, this is it. And then I sent the message to you guys, and I was like, I'm doing it.
Let's do it.
Like,
that's awesome, man. So for people, it's hard when you're sitting down, but fighting at 135, dude, you're pretty tall for the weight class, I would say. I was surprised when you walked in for sure.
I've definitely always been skinny. I actually contemplated going to 125, and I actually probably could.
Wow.
But it wouldn't be pretty.
No, that would suck.
It probably wouldn't be pretty.
What's it like getting to 35? You just kind of got to diet.
It hasn't been too bad. I've just been dieting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
You cut out the bull crap.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then really just that alone, and lots of running.
That's awesome.
Lots of running.
Yeah, dude, that's fun. And another interesting caveat for people is this is the first time Steel City Martial Arts has competed for us too. So I'm really excited to work with that team. Obviously, they're very well known in the area.
Yeah.
So how'd you get linked up with that crew?
So I actually, when I came back from college, which is where I started training, I was the president of the MMA team for OU, which I love. That's where I started training. That changed my life, of course. And I came back here, and I was really looking for a good place to go. And I started out at Indio, actually.
Oh, nice.
Which was a great spot. And then just for convenience's sake, and I feel a little ashamed of saying this, Steel City opened up a new spot in McMurray that was really close to my house. And so I jumped ship, which I apologize for. Sorry, Danilo.
There's no shame in that. If you go where it's close, that makes perfect sense to me.
And I had buddies that were at Steel City, and I had talked to Santino and Dave Moore. And they were just so overwhelmingly welcoming.
That's real
nice
cool
and supportive of me. So, and I fell in love with that place. And the people too.
I like that you apologized to Danilo too, because Ryan, I saw him clicking on his phone. He was clearly texting Danilo. This guy left you. We have a traitor in the studio.
Yeah. Their heads up. They're going to be on their way.
We got a comment from Jarrell Hodge too. He says, love what 247's doing for the sport. I love what Jarrell Hodge does for the sport, man. That's a legend who doesn't get nearly enough credit, especially locally, what he's done for PA and Ohio MMA. If you guys don't know Jarrell Hodge, you need to look it up. There's somebody fighting this weekend at UFC 300, Cody Garbrandt. A lot of people probably heard of him. Jarrell Hodge knocked him out as an amateur. It's a highlight reel. I'm just saying. So if you guys don't know Jarrell Hodge, now you know. And Cody's obviously one of my favorites too. A great dude. But I'm just saying, if you don't recognize what Jarrell Hodge has done, you're sleeping on it a little bit. But yeah, dude, I want to hop back into Steel City because there's an interesting dynamic there to me. I like the idea, you felt welcomed. It was very convenient to your house. That makes perfect sense. But when you switch gyms, it's part of our Sony keeps bugging out. Okay. Just watching Ryan freak out every time is fun. But there's a component of switching gyms too that you got to have the right training partners. Like the overall vibe needs to be right. How long did it take before you realized like that I'm going to be just fine here?
Instantaneously.
Nice.
Because one of my close friends, Zach Adams, I love him. He's one of the best men I've ever known. I got him into jiu-jitsu, and I remember he was real nervous about it. He was like, "Dude, I don't want to get fucked up." And I was like, "Yeah, you do." And so we threw down these. I remember we bought these real ratty old wrestling mats and threw them in his basement, and we were just trying to murder each other like in his basement.
Sure.
And then that ended up being my mistake because he ended up being way better than me. Bastard.
So we should have him fighting instead?
Honestly, I try to convince him. He's like, dude, I'm like 700 years old.
What's his name?
Zach Adams.
Okay, I'm going to have to just keep an eye out. Does he still compete at all, like grappling or anything?
He's competed, I think, once or twice in grappling, but I still keep trying to like shove him back onto the mat.
Nice. That's fun. So you guys are still good friends? He still trains at Steel City?
So he was one of the big convincing arguments for joining Steel City. So I already had that connection, and like I said, I already known a few people who trained there who were already really close friends that I'd already trusted in training, because that's obviously a very important part of the training. So I had no problem hopping into their practice and just like instant death match. You know what I mean? Huge. No problem with it. And once you move past that barrier, the rest I think comes easy.
Takes care of itself. Yeah. That's an interesting dynamic though too, because it's not Ryan is a mess. Danny Palm, we need you back, brother. Danny Palm, if you're watching, we need an air horn now. No, Ryan's doing good. He's doing good. He's doing good back there. It's a hard job, man. There was the one day I was doing the podcast and I had to run it myself and try to do everything. dude, it was a task, but we made it. We made it all right. So that was cool. I do forget what I was about to ask you though, and it seemed important. Oh yeah, I got you. That dynamic of you just being comfortable in what you called a death match, like that very competitive environment. Where do you think that comes from? Because of like physical combat is very different than playing basketball, for instance. Yeah,
it's very
it is.
And
Yeah, for sure.
I've had very at length discussions with this about people that like whether it's jiu-jitsu or MMA or kickboxing, even Muay Thai, whatever. Like martial arts specifically is so intimate, and that's why it's so emotional, and that's why some people have a hard time overcoming that. Like just the physical closeness of it,
right,
invokes an emotional response. And so I think it's easier to trust someone with that emotional vulnerability when they're your friend, or at least if you've known them for a long time, right?
Makes sense.
And then when you establish that trust, then you're allowed to push each other more and more, right? And I joke about death matches, but like everyone needs hard rolls, they need hard rounds. And not only are those important to your physical development, but they're very important to your emotional development and your social development with that person. I feel like if I can safely and trustfully, if that's a word, try to murder someone, within an agreed upon set of rules, then like that's such a bond that's so strong. And I think any fighter would agree about that. That creates such a strong bond that like anything else is like small potatoes.
I mean, we see it at every gym, and in Pittsburgh, we're lucky that there's a lot of cross training. So we see it even among gyms a lot of times. A lot of people, Stout every Saturday has sparring, and it's kind of like every gym from the area goes down there and spars. So it's a really interesting.
And even I've trained with Stout.
Really,
my opponent's from Stout, and I've trained there. And I know that they're dogs. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So,
but you can't really find a bad gym in Pittsburgh either. That's the other thing.
Pittsburgh has some really great spots. There's a lot, unfortunately, that I actually haven't managed to train to, but a lot of like True Believer, Academy, Mat Factory, couple probably more than I'm forgetting. 7 C's, I think maybe High C's. No, 7 C's. I don't know. A few that I really want to get around to just visiting and training at.
That would be sweet. Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. There's two sides to that conversation always. And it's one, you want to find your home that you're super comfortable and just drill in there. And then the other side is the person who floats around, like kind of like what you're saying, like get a different look everywhere you go.
Just a little taste.
Yeah. And I'm not saying one is more right than the other. I think it depends on the athlete for sure. We got Joe's Zale. Do you know her? In the chat, She's saying, "Let's go."
Joanne.
She's very hyped.
Joanne.
She's very hyped for you. Do you have anything to say to Joanne?
Joanne, when are you gonna go back to practice?
Oh,
that's a good question. No, I'm just kidding. Joanne's been real busy with her life, I know, but her son's been showing up too, so that's really cool.
Nice. Life does get very busy.
She's one of those like marathon crazy people. So,
like she literally runs marathons.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
No,
couldn't be me. Sorry.
No. You just get in cages and fight humans instead.
That's
a lot easier.
That seems easier.
Like for you, it's just way easier.
Yeah.
Dude, on that front, Ish Lopez in the chat. What up, Ish? But on that front, it is interesting that you do have another fight from 2020. So I want to talk about that fight. What led you to taking that? Where was it? I'll be honest, I don't even recognize the promotion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, okay, I was in college and we got a message from this organization, Nuka, who is actually, say the 12th. They're having their third event tonight in Morgantown.
Cool.
Yeah. So what Nuka is Owen Roddy, who's Connor's striking coach, and his really good friend, Mr. Powers. I can't see. I remember his first name, to be honest. Sorry. They put together
Austin.
No, it was not Austin Powers. They put together it's like a collegiate MMA thing, which is a really cool concept.
That is a cool concept.
They contacted our club, the OU MMA club, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come fight for us?" And me and my buddies were like, "Hell yeah,
yeah!"
Because we had nothing to lose, like invincible college,
of course,
kids, right?
As you are in college, yeah,
invincible. So they flew us down to Orlando, where they had an event at the campus of UCF.
Okay.
And it was awesome. I mean,
that wasn't rowdy and fun at all, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Because it was a totally amateur event. And the quote unquote main event was a student at UCF, and he brought like his entire frat. Like his entire frat were there.
Insane.
So like I came out, I remember, for my fight, and I'm just getting these dudes that are like, and there's like no barrier.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
There's like
of course.
like a velvet rod, a cord.
That's stopping a whole
Yeah,
fraternity. Yeah.
And they were like screaming in your face, like, ah! And I was like, I don't know you. But that was actually a really fun event. And like, that was kind of nerve wracking because that was the first time.
Dude.
I don't think
that's rough.
I'd only competed in grappling tournaments like once or twice before that, I think. So to go from like barely having competed at all to that, like the lights and the music and everything.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. That was a big jump.
I think I've heard it from competitors all the time, but I think that's an interesting thing too that I've been able to observe with 247 is like people underestimate the amount of people in the crowd and the lights, the camera, all of it, the production. It feels very official. Like when you get your name called and it's time to walk out, it's like all eyes on you, brother. Like this is you.
I've never been to one of your events. I've never watched one, unfortunately, but I just
get out.
Just for I'm sorry. No.
No, seriously, keep going.
I've seen plenty of pictures and videos and everything. And it looks like you guys just run like a super tight ship, which is something I appreciate a lot. I'm kind of a stickler for organization and stuff like that. And as a competitor, that means a lot.
Yeah.
If we're not just dancing monkeys,
it's
you know what I mean? Like that means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
You guys are on your shit.
Yeah, dude. We're super proud of it. It's kind of my nature to be super organized and on top of things like that. So
And if anyone who's ever been to a really disorganized competition,
yes, and I'm not saying names because I literally don't even have a name that comes to mind, but a lot of regional MMA is that. Like when you go to it, it's just like a cage and fights, and I hope we can figure it out from here.
And the schedule keeps getting flip-flopped.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, man, I'm glad that it's noticeable even without watching a stream or being to a show that this is not that. That's not what we try to be.
Organized.
Thanks, dude. I'm sorry, just a couple more comments for I like because people are calling you out, so I gotta let you know. Not calling you out. Three-eyed Raven Blue.
My sister, I think.
Nice. Skeletor with 3 exclamation points.
That's me.
Yeah. Although I gotta say, like, you look good, you sound good. You don't seem like you're like dying right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see.
Yeah. He-Man.
And Joanne has corrected you.
Oh.
They're ultra marathons.
That's right. I was gonna say that, but then I didn't think I remembered right. So that's like what, 50 miles?
I don't even know. Who cares?
It's like
it's more than 26.2. You might as well just be insane.
You're like taking the ring to Mordor at that point. So
and Jaden says fighting someone in a cage is better than marathons. So you guys are on the same page there. What are you got the Dungeons and Dragons shirt, but I want to know more about Nick the human outside of fighting. Like what's a Saturday with Nick Patragas look like?
I too would like to know who Nick Patragas is outside of fighting. Hey,
wait, did he say Patragas again?
No,
nope. I nailed it.
You nailed it.
Don't try to do that.
Okay. Oh god, this is a long story. I've not really.
Let's go.
I've always been a dweeb. Like I've always been a nerd. When I was a little kid, like I played outside as much as anybody, and like tons of football after school and stuff like that. But at heart, like I was never part of any team sports or anything. My father made a point of sitting me down and making sure I was watching the right movies. And his idea of the right movies for an 8-year-old was like Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
Which terrified me.
It's a great dad, dude.
Yeah. Right. So I was always listening to music. And I obviously I was always hanging out with my father. So like it was metal.
Nice.
I remember listening.
Nice.
Like one of my favorite bands, 3 Inches of Blood.
Let's go.
Yeah. One of my favorite bands.
I saw them at Ozfest before. I'm most positive. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Nice.
We could talk better about
that. Yeah.
Anyway,
we could have a whole metal podcast. Don't worry.
I was like, I grew up in the car listening to that. And of course, a little kid, you don't understand that. But now I'm like, I get it now. You know what I mean? So
Ryan hates metal. That's for metal.
But like anyway, so I grew up reading books, watching movies, anything.
That's awesome.
And I just never really like hung out. Not to say that I didn't have friends as a kid, but like
but I liked movies and music.
But
and
I liked
books.
movies and music and books and everything.
So you do the math.
Yeah. So I was always a dweeb growing up, and that always continued through college. And so engineering was a natural.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. But now I do got to put you on the spot and ask you for your top 3 movies of all time. It's list time, baby. Let's go. Think about it. This
is unfair.
It's a very important decision. And I'm not even saying genre specific. I'm saying if you're going on an island for the rest of your life and they say you can take 3 movies, these are the 3 that you're taking.
The Prestige.
Nice. That's a strong lead off.
Probably Dune. Big Dune guy.
Dune.
The question is which one, right?
Exactly. I haven't seen Dune 2 yet, but I did love
that's
Dune.
kick-ass. I like the old one a lot. So
I've never seen the old one.
I love it so much. It's so dumb.
Is that the one you would take?
Probably, honestly.
Just for like a laugh and okay. Fair.
And the third one. I always used to say like V for Vendetta or Shawshank.
I could see that.
Man, I like Equilibrium a lot.
I don't know that movie.
It's Christian Bale.
Good movie.
Another Christian Bale one.
I feel like I would like it because
It's a
I've
really
liked
cool
everything
one.
else you
It's a
said.
really cool one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
kind of
tough,
like
right?
like a Matrix type of thing.
Yeah, it is kind of Matrixy. It's
would
kind of like dystopian future, very 1984-y.
be into that.
Oh wait, I had one. I just lost it.
Oh no. Get it back.
The 36th Chamber of the Shaolin.
See, I've never seen that.
Old school kung fu movie that I absolutely adore.
I gotta go 12 Monkeys, man.
12 Monkeys.
There you go.
One. Oh, Fight Club. Dude, taking just three. So we were just
top three stuff.
We just had a Fight
Three
Club
stuff.
reference earlier
Did
today,
you?
and I forget why. We were talking about somebody fighting themselves, and Ryan was like,
punching themselves
Brad
in the
Pitt's
face."
good at fighting himself. I was like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, dude, that's fun. That's fun. I kind of get where you're at now. So books wise, I'm assuming, are you in the same vibe?
Yeah,
Do you like Kurt
sci-
Vonnegut?
You know what?
Because that's where I would be like, you probably like him. But
I don't.
no.
I like a lot of like sci-fi.
Okay.
So
Heavier sci-fi.
heavier sci-fi
got it.
and fantasy. So
Got
like
it.
obviously Lord of the Rings. Come on. But like Dune, like I grew up reading Dune. So like, or John Carter. Of
Perfect.
Mars, John Carter of Mars. Red Rising is my thing now. It's a little more recent.
Got it.
Um,
Have you ever read a book, Ryan?
Dude, Grisham, brother.
Grisham.
see, that's not, yeah, like,
Page
that's not,
turners. A page flipper. That's perfect. But that's
Stephen King. Yeah,
Yeah.
horror
Dude,
is always a big one.
Honestly, Stephen King is like, if you really dig into his bibliography,
It's nuts.
dude, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
How can one person write this many books? And
Bangers,
like they're good. Like
yeah.
there's a lot of bangers. I'm sure a lot of them suck, but
I have a lot of frustrating ideas about Stephen King, but I recognize that he's a genius.
Correct.
You know
I mean, he's kind of the guy that's like every hipster band that gets popular, and then
Right.
people are like, "Oh, they suck now." It's like, no, actually, they're just amazing, and that's why they're popular. Also,
I mean, all the Robert E. Howard.
thanks, bro. Look at that delivery,
Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, of course. Edgar Allan Poe.
bro. I've been on a huge H.P. Lovecraft kick.
He's the
lately.
best. I mean, he's the
Lately.
GOAT. What can you say?
Do you play
Okay.
video games at all?
Yeah.
Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Let's
Come
go.
on. Well, we're never getting a PC remaster, so it's fine.
Oh, it hurts. So funny enough, my buddy Blake that I shouted out earlier that jumped in the chat for a second, he turned me on to. I'm not a gamer really at
Yeah.
all. Like I've played a handful of games in my life, and I'll get addicted to the
Mhm.
ones that I like. But he turned me on to Bloodborne at one point, and I tried it and couldn't get past the
I've
first area.
been a Souls guy since it first came out.
So
Like since
you're the
2011,
OG Souls
so
guy. So you're that guy.
Boomer Souls player.
You probably need to meet Blake after the fights. We'll make that
Sweet.
happen. Yeah. But he,
yeah, like I said, I mean, I have like 3 friends. So
they're probably like ride or dies though, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're my brothers.
exactly.
They're my brothers, and they're who I play D&D with. You know what I mean? So
I wasn't laughing at D&D. I was laughing at this comment from Paul Payet. He said,
he
said,
"Oh no,
it's the green sweater for me.
thank you, Paul."
Which one? That's the question.
Yeah, I know. I got 2 on.
I mean,
I
you've
have
got 2.
olive, the olive one, and then the forest.
I was going to say that's more of a forest green on top.
Yeah.
I can recognize that. Or a hunter green,
A
which
hunter. Yeah.
I should know like what that is,
Yeah,
given
you-
that it's in my name, but I really don't. Is it this? Is it like the camo green? I don't know.
One could argue that it's like the neon
Oh, neon green.
because that's what your hive is. I don't know.
Dude, I have no idea. Listen, I don't know. I like Ryan trying to be quiet, opening the beer over there. Like the mic wasn't gonna get it somehow. Shout out Brew Gentlemen, by the way, for not sponsoring us at all. Love you guys. That's awesome how you don't pay us to drink your beer on
You know how
camera.
bad I want a margarita? A margarita.
Is that what you miss the
That's what I
most?
want right now. Or a banana milkshake.
What do you
That's what
miss
I
the
want.
absolute most? If somebody said, I'll give you a free pass, bro, you're not gaining any weight if you eat this, I promise. What would you go for? Or eat and
Cheeseburger.
drink combo
Cheeseburger.
with a banana
With a
milkshake.
banana milkshake. Everyone knows that. That's what I've been saying at the gym. And then you know what? It's funny because it's not even about the weight, really. It's just about like the mental discipline of it. You know what I mean? Like
That
I'm
makes
not
sense.
allowed to have it. until I earn it. You know
Makes
what I mean?
perfect sense.
Yeah.
I appreciate that for sure. And we appreciate you making weight also.
Oh yeah, I can understand why that might be a bit
Yeah,
frustrating.
it opens cans of worms that we don't like
No,
sifting through
I don't think
at all.
I don't think there's an excuse to not make weight.
No, and Joel's rock solid too, so I don't think
Good,
there's
nice.
any danger you're about, man. But honestly, dude, the reason I wanted to get you guys both in here, I look at this card and we always try to predict fight of the night,
Sure.
right? Like for me, this is the fight that I think people are sleeping on a little bit. But then you add in the fact that you're selling some tickets, dude. Like your crowd's going to be
trying.
strong there.
I have been very blessed with a lot of people in my life who, for reasons I cannot fathom, care very much about me and wish to see me do well. So, including my coworkers and my boss,
Yeah,
and all the gym people and my friends and family. I didn't think my mother was going to go because that didn't seem like something a mother would want to see her son do, but she's going.
how's she?
Oh, she hates it.
Yeah,
she's like,
okay.
as soon as your fight's over, I'm gone. And you know what? To be honest, I thought that I was going to be one of the first few fights, but I don't think that's.
No,
gonna
you're
be,
a little deeper on the
yeah,
card
okay.
this time, brother. Well, that's what you get for selling all those tickets,
I know,
you know.
So I was like, "Sorry, Ma, you're going to be
Sorry, Mom.
You're going to be seeing some blood."
Here's what I'll tell Mama. My mom had the same exact reaction. She, because grew up watching the UFC, of course. I was a huge UFC fan. How else do you get here?
Yeah.
Right. But my mom, every time we would watch a pay-per-view, she'd walk in the room, see the fights happening. If there was any blood or like ground and pound was the worst.
Yeah,
for her.
it's pretty ugly.
That's pretty caveman-y, like ground and pound. Any of that, and she's out. Like can't do it.
I had the opposite, where like my parents or whoever would watch in, and you'd be seeing like the most awkward north-south position like in the world, and they're like,
are
"What are you
watching?"
watching?" I'm like,
That's not what it looks like.
They have clothes on still. Stick around though.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey guys from Big Zay 212. What's up, Big Zay?
Hi, Big Zay 212.
I don't know. Do you know Big Zay 212?
Maybe
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, what's up, Big Zay? Happy to have you here nonetheless.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. I want to finish my mom's story too, but after
ahead.
your
Yeah,
okay,
mom's story.
All right, mom. So mom totally hates violence in UFC in any capacity. Can't even really watch NFL. Like NFL's too violent for her. Yeah.
Okay.
And she came to a 247 show.
Kick him in the face,
Bro, that sounded like Brian John. That sounded like AC/DC. That was awesome. But mom came and freaking loved it, man.
Yeah.
Like
I think when
it is
people-
different when you're there. It really
People
is.
have stigmas about it, right?
For sure.
But then when they realize like it is controlled, like yes, it's violence, but like it's controlled and it's informed violence. Like these guys
Correct.
know what they're doing.
Correct.
And obviously the goal is to inflict pain and damage, but like it's professional, it's controlled.
Exactly. Yep.
But no, people are always amazed. I love it, and I know my mother's gonna be the same way. I know she's gonna get so.
She's going to be into it, I think. Yeah, for sure, man. That's Edwin's brother, by the way, Big Zay 212. Jew Herd. What's up, dude? Thanks for being in here. Edwin and the whole Vera family rules.
It's human cockfighting.
Yeah.
Yep. John McCain on the keys. What was your question, Ryan?
What should people expect out of you on fight night? Like, if someone's watching right now and they're like, "Hey, I might go to this," like, why should they go to watch you fight?
Violence.
I mean, it is a fight.
Yeah, it's true. I guess that's not very meaningful.
I liked it though.
It
Good
sounded
answer.
way more dramatic in my head.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Do you need a reason to go? See
Like,
two
what's
men
your
try to kill each
style?
other?
Like, what can people?
I can't tell you my secrets.
I don't think it's gonna be a secret for very long. We're gonna expose your secrets.
Goodness.
High pace.
I like that.
Nice.
I like that.
And what else do you want from a fight? You know.
Have you watched Joel's fights?
Sure.
Do you study film?
He's had two, I
Yeah.
think. Correct me if I'm
For
wrong.
us, at least. Yeah.
I think I have only seen the one with him and Mike Bertani.
Okay. So the most recent one, the
Yeah.
most relevant one,
Yeah.
sure.
Which good on him, dude. I mean, fighting like a month
Yeah.
after. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Joel's pace was crazy. He had a
Yeah.
fight scheduled that got canceled too in
Oh,
between. So it
really?
was supposed to be even
Wow,
wilder
that's
than what he
nuts.
did. Yeah.
That's nuts.
He's such a gamer, dude. Like
Yeah.
he's so ready to go.
I've chatted with him
Yeah.
a little bit. He seems like a totally nice guy.
That's the other thing. Like I'm pretty sure this happens all the time with fights. Like I talk to two guys, I'm like, you guys would totally be friends if you didn't have to fight each other. Like,
Well,
guarantee
you know
after the
what?
fight, you
They're
guys are
not
going to be
mutually
friends.
exclusive. Like they're
Right.
not mutually exclusive.
He's wearing a cardigan. He can be friends with
exactly
anyone.
right.
That's a great point. Ain't nobody in a cardigan that's like abrasive or hard to get along with.
The
That's just-
irony is I'm a rotten bastard. But it's fine.
what are Nick's worst habits? Like, in what ways are you a rotten bastard?
Oh, I don't like traffic lights.
Oh, wow.
I don't like traffic lights.
So you just
Says
go
that.
through
I
them, or
Just
what?
say,
Sometimes I just go nuts.
just
Like I
decide.
just hate when people like if you're not. I'm one of those people where like if you're not accelerating the millisecond that shit turns green. I don't even honk. I just
Oh,
like
okay.
seethe in my car.
nice. That's even better. You
Yeah.
just eat all
Yeah,
the
I just
anger
bottle it
instead.
up.
That's healthy. That's what every
Yeah.
therapist says you should do,
Yeah.
actually. Strong. That's a strong play. Ryan is one of the more aggressive drivers I've ever ridden with, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need you and Ryan to be at a stoplight.
Because like there's
together.
no reason why people like don't you have somewhere to be? You know what I mean? Like
My thoughts exactly.
thank you.
Like, I'll sit with him driving and I'll be like, don't we have somewhere to be?
Hey, we'll get there. We usually get there. Like 94% of the time we
Right.
get
And
where
like
we're
it's
supposed to go.
proven that like speeding doesn't actually get you there
Right.
and it's significantly faster. But
But it
like,
feels great.
It satisfies me.
it
though.
does, yeah.
I'll be a little honest. I'm not that driver, but we went on the beer run right before the podcast was about to start, and I left here at like 4:15 or so. So I had to hustle, and I may allegedly have been speeding a little bit, and it was real fun. It was real fun. I had to admit, I was like,
on these back roads.
yeah, dude. I was like, I get why Ryan does this. This feels
So,
awesome.
When we go hang out at Red Fox.
I don't know it. Unfortunately,
Oh,
I'm not.
so
I
Red
don't really
Fox-
know the
oh,
area much.
It's like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
It's a winery.
Do you know Red Fox?
I do not. I know Rough Cut.
So Red Fox is probably like not even 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
It's on Red
Oh.
Fox Road. It's a nice, very beautiful winery, but they do like
Oh.
trivia night. And they do this thing where like they give out a bunch of free drink tickets,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely more lady focused because all ladies bring their
Sure.
big purses.
I'm pretty
And it's
lady
like-
focused.
Hell yeah! It's like you bring
Hell yeah!
you bring.
Hell yeah!
It's like if you have a library card on you, if you have your passport on you, if you have an unwrapped or a wrapped candy on you, like here's
Oh,
a free
okay,
drink. And
okay.
so you can drink like a bottle of wine there for free, and then
Dangerous.
it gets fun.
That's awesome. You just get all these women with their purses in there getting wine drunk. These women these days.
But then the drive home,
That is a
where I'm
thing.
totally sober, of course.
Yeah, you would never do such a thing. That is the caveat. I always think it's not funny. Like drunk driving.
course,
Let me
it's
be
absolutely
extremely
not funny.
clear.
Absolutely
Drunk
not
driving's
funny.
not funny, but and this is probably not even something you should say but about. There is a level of it where people are always like, inevitably, when somebody gets a DWI, they're like, how could you do it? Why? That's so dangerous. And in my head, I think about it all the time. I'm like, here's how they could do it. They were drunk.
Yeah.
The decision making wasn't great
How
at
did
that
I
time.
do it? Well, I put the keys in the ignition.
Ron was just like waiting up. No matter what I said, the
Yeah.
sad trombone was coming. I know that.
Yeah, it was.
It's 5:30. FYI.
What does that mean?
I don't know the timing. I don't want these two to
Bro,
brawl
have
in the studio.
Have I ever been disorganized? I got this under
you
control.
always have been.
Why
got
would
this
I?
under
Here's
control.
the thing, man. I've always like detested the idea of like starting shit before your fight because it's like you're gonna be fighting in like
Mhm.
24 hours.
I'm a promoter.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I want
Like,
to
don't hit each other, but like really, really
we
get in
we
each
can do
other's
some
faces.
ignorant shit for the cameras. and the
Yeah.
weigh-ins.
We'll film some real ignorant stuff,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
rotten bastard
Yeah,
stuff, as
yeah,
you
yeah.
said. I want to shout out real quick in the chat. Noah Hermosillo and React BJJ both have fights coming up on this card as well. Noah Hermosillo, D2 national champ wrestler, making his MMA debut. So
Them
the world-
wrestlers or something else.
world's hyped on this kid. We're hyped on this kid, and he's fighting a 2-0 JR Cazales, who is a savage as well. Do you know JR Cazales or the Cazales
The
family
name
at all?
sounds kind of
Yeah,
familiar.
they're kind of locally famous in the scene for
Okay.
sure. Great wrestlers, great combat
Yeah.
family in general. And then React's got Evan Furlong, so let's go, dude. I'm hyped about everything
I'm
going
still
on.
learning a lot of the names in your organization because it's like all these people that I swear I've heard about before.
Mm-hmm.
But because I've been such a shut-in my whole life, like I've been so out of the loop. But now I'm learning the jargon, so to speak.
That's good.
If only that in the form of names.
Well, kind of funny. I got to come clean on this. Like, I recognized Hannibal Lecture on Instagram as like I've seen you like stuff or comment. Like I recognize that name without ever realizing that was you or like a fighter.
My barely used Instagram.
It's a great name for an Instagram account. I gotta say, I was like,
my username on everything.
That's a good one.
My Steam name, all that.
That was a real good one.
Thank you.
I was super impressed. But yeah, dude, we're Ryan is right. Joao will be here at 5. Joao starts at 5:45, so we got a couple minutes, but we'll give you a little buffer here. I just want to
talk
give you
shit.
The opportunity. Yeah. Make one last push. You've sold tickets well already, but let's be honest. There's people out there who are like, why would I?
Kind of guy, to be honest. But
no, don't do that.
All right.
Talk the wildest shit. Put it on.
Do it, you
Put it
son
on
of.
the line.
You're never gonna be on it. You dog shit. Do it or you're cut.
The fight's
Stop
off.
the fight.
The fight's off. Nick,
My mic's
talks.
still on. My
Best
bad.
Dana White
I was
impression.
just kidding.
I don't know, Joao. You're a dork.
Got him.
That's all I
Got him.
I was at it laughing pretty hard because you put the wrong name.
Dude,
on the
that's
thing.
me.
I
That was
laughing
me.
really
That was
hard about
me.
that.
That was
and
me.
then he commented. He was like, "Read your fucking contract, idiot." I was laughing really hard at that.
That was fun. That was a super fun
It's a
back and forth.
tag team match.
That was real fun. I loved that. I mean, these things happen.
So
whenever
let's
you're
tell the viewers. Okay, so Hunter posted the post and he accidentally tagged
Miguel Francisco.
Miguel Francisco as his opponent instead of Joao. And so I happened to be driving and I saw an alert and it said like wrong name, and I looked and I saw it. So I called Hunter and he took care of it.
But we got you, Joe.
But they got it
jumped
first.
on it,
Yeah,
like immediately.
they got it first, which was awesome, which ended up being real fun. But
So,
by the way, that is a tag
It's
team
not a
match.
tag team. Okay. Because we couldn't find an opponent for
Do
Miguel.
I get like a club? Can I get like a billy club or something?
In
Yeah,
the second round, you do.
all right, I
Yes.
get a razor blade. All right,
Yep.
sweet.
When the second opponent comes in, a bat actually
Oh,
drops
sweet.
as well.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Actually, he's lying.
Like a sock full of quarters.
At the beginning of the second round, they'll play 50 Cent in the club. That's as
Oh,
close
okay,
as you're
all right.
getting.
That's it. Jason probably hates you, says choose violence, hashtag
I
SCMA.
think that's my father.
Nice. What's up, Jason? Probably hates you. See, he is metal.
Yeah.
That username says it all. So I already like
Choose
Jason.
violence. That's
Let's
the plan.
go.
That's the plan.
So what's your walkout song going to be? Is that a surprise or you
So
want to talk
I
about
haven't.
this?
Okay, I got the message. I don't know who's the one that messages like the blue corner, red corner chat.
It's a little bit of all of us. Yeah.
Well, I read the must be clean, and I was like,
That's you.
I know,
You
I-
do tag team back again. Like do that. That's the best walkout song.
I don't know. Pantera is on the
Let's go.
Pantera right now because, like, ironically, Pantera actually has very clean lyrics.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
But it's just brutal riffs, right? Which is really the important part to me.
Agreed.
Because I was gonna do Slipknot, but Slipknot's a little hard to get.
You could find clean on YouTube, I bet. And our DJ is amazing.
But then
Like
what's the
she can
point?
probably
Then
edit
what's
it
the point?
herself.
What's the point?
Shout out DJ Cake, by the way, best in the biz.
You should do a song that
I get that.
nobody's ever done.
I was
before.
like, all right, Barbie.
I think
Barbie.
Maybe
No,
somebody's
like
done that.
I'm
I
every
probably-
woman. Like Cher.
I was gonna do like Tina Turner or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
that would be
yeah,
fun.
Yeah,
That would be fun. That would be super fun.
Cindy Lauper.
yeah. Dude,
I'm
listen,
here for that.
I love
actually.
Bonnie Tyler. Bonnie Tyler is like my wife away from my wife. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were rocking Total Eclipse of the Heart, watching the
Yes,
eclipse the other day.
exactly.
My wife and I. That was a good time.
Bonnie, if you
Full
ever
blue
see
Have
this,
you seen like the Total Eclipse of the Heart like music video with like an explanation?
No.
You gotta do it,
No.
dude. It's
Oh,
so
boy.
funny.
I mean,
it's
half our
hilarious.
songs are about being horny. So
I mean, who among us
Yeah,
cannot
I know,
relate,
right?
you know?
I'm 46.
It's me. I'm the person who can't
Yeah.
relate.
I forget what horny feels like.
Well, when you're rocking cardigans like that, dude, you never
This
forget.
gets them- no, this
You
gets
never
them going.
forget.
This gets them going, dude. I told
Let
you,
me tell you.
I have been told Grandpa Core
You need to
is back. Yeah,
Grandpa
Core.
Grandpa Core.
Core.
Grandpa Core is the thing now, and I
Oh
can tell
my
you.
god.
Well, never mind. My wife's probably listening.
It's all right. It only works for you.
She knows. The
Don't
deal.
worry.
She knows the deal.
Don't worry, Mrs. Patragas.
She knows the arrangement.
She knows what's up. Dude, this is amazing. I was already, like I said, fight of the night for me on paper. Like, this is my sleeper pick, but it's delivered.
Obviously, we have to have like the super confident mindset going into it, right? But I really do just want to put on a good show, and I want to display the skills for both he and I. Obviously, he's been putting in a crazy amount of work too,
for sure.
So I just want to put on a good show.
Absolutely.
The lack of elbows and head kicks is a little.
It's a bummer a little bit.
That's the nature of it.
What were I assume since it was that an unsanctioned fight at UCF? Was it just full pro rules, or what was that rule set like?
It was no elbows. It was very similar actually, but there was ground and pound allowed.
Okay.
Because it was in Florida, so I think they had different rule sets.
Yeah.
They were not very informative about that kind of thing.
Imagine this. We weren't quite sure what we were getting into.
So, yeah. I think it probably wouldn't have been called either way. If maybe. No, I unfortunately, and I always, that's probably my biggest regrets in one of my life, because that fight ended so poorly, because like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I just I tried to pick his brain out with my finger. Not on purpose. Sorry, I probably should clarify. Not on purpose. And I thought he was being a little wuss at the time, because you're in the middle of the fight and you're like, let's go, come on.
Of course.
And I'm pacing like freaking Darth Maul, like on the other side of the octagon, while the doctors like looking at him, and he couldn't continue, so it was a no contest.
So it was an eye poke that caused it. Nice.
And again, in the moment, I was like, dude, whatever.
The Chris Weidman.
And then I tried to, because I didn't have contacts in at that time, which I shouldn't admit. It's because I couldn't really see, which was hilarious looking back at that. How stupid that is.
It's now 5:40, FYI, guys.
Okay, I'll finish up.
There will be a fight.
So I went to apologize afterwards, after the fight, and he did not want to talk to me. Right? Which, and I totally, I understand.
That's fair.
I tried to apologize.
Part of the game.
When I got up close to him, because I knelt down close to him, first off, his face was jacked up because I was tagging him, and secondly, his eye was fucked. And I was
nice.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Well, I mean, it's memorable.
So I own up to it. Yeah,
and it's a learning experience ultimately. That's kind of funny that Jared Billy in the chat. What's up, Jared Billy? One of our all-time, like we say, like Mount Rushmore 247 fans. Jared Billy's like 247 super fan. He's the man. But he literally asked after you started talking about it. He said, I noticed his first fight, it ended in a no contest. What happened? It was like funny. You answered his question before he even got a chance to say it.
Tried to rip his eyeball out.
Hey, who among us has not tried to rip out an eyeball?
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It happens. It happens.
Dude, I'm like I said, super excited about this. Super excited to work with Steel City too.
Yeah,
and
I've been trying to convince them for.
Then let's go get some people on the grappling card too.
I already have a buddy
next
who wants
time.
to do the
Levi.
He's really Levi. Yeah,
I know.
he's really excited to do.
He just can't do this one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we actually had some.
He does army stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he's constantly going back and forth. I don't even know what he does, but
we'll get you, Levi. Don't worry.
He wants to do a gi match for sure.
And whoever else wants it, we'll make it happen. You guys are awesome. Like I said, obviously it's a mainstay in Pittsburgh martial arts. Everybody knows Steel City. So how our paths didn't cross before this is crazy, but I'm honored that you're the guy to lead it.
And I'm excited to be part of you guys. I mean, I'm honored that one day I just messaged whoever on Instagram or whoever, and I was like, hey,
and it worked.
Can I fight for you guys?
That's what's up.
And it worked.
Is that your like messaging voice? Hey guys,
it's me. Hannibal Lecter here.
It was like
I want to fight.
You don't know me, and I'm a nobody, but I also want to throw down.
But
so what can we do?
I would also really love to fight right now.
Well, because I see how professional you guys' events were and everything, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to fight for some back alley nonsense.
He sees how well I organize things.
Exactly.
If you only knew how I have to stay up.
Hey,
stop!
Shout out, by the way.
Tell them about insurance.
No, we don't need to talk about insurance. There's no story there at all. But we will tell that story sometime. It'll be very fun.
Oh my!
I want to lift the curtain on Nick Patragas a little, because you said when I asked you to be on the podcast, you were like, by the way, I'm terrible at talking. Dude, you're not terrible at talking at all. This was awesome.
I'm just
carried the whole thing.
I don't find myself very interesting, so it's.
Fair. I mean, I find you interesting.
Yeah, I thought you were very interesting.
I appreciate it.
You undersold yourself, which is always the move, by the way. That's good.
And
That's
people
good.
They're like, oh, what are you into? And I'm like, well, my day job, I'm an engineer. And then I go to MMA practice, and then I go to play D&D with my friends, and then I go work on my novels at home.
Do you?
They're like, what are you doing?
I'm
not good at any of it. That's the best part.
Do you own a house?
No, we live in a townhouse in Stone Creek, right next to the casino
Okay.
by the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you my address, but
No,
Well, I mean, you
but
just
a
did.
townhouse
I'm sure we
is
have
a
it.
house.
yeah, it's in a town. Yeah.
That's sick. I mean, so you're fighting like you could walk to the fight.
Basically, I could jog there.
That's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
actually. You can definitely walk to weigh-ins.
Yeah, after party.
yeah, I can walk up. I don't have to worry.
No,
about
we're
that.
having the after party at
Oh,
your townhouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh,
where
okay.
we're
Oh, yeah.
having it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your address?
No, nice try.
Immediately following Brawl in the Burgh 21,
I
we
feel
will be.
my neighbor Kathy would have something to say about that.
Let's go to Kathy's
Kathy.
house.
She's invited. Let's go, Kathy.
Kathy is something else.
Jaden Palumbine in the chat too. Young Savage working his way up. Keep an eye on this kid. You want to watch some jiu-jitsu? Jaden is Mr. Jiu-Jitsu.
It's 5:43. Just
Hey,
saying.
all right.
I don't know if he's here, but let's have a fight in the office. That's what I say.
Let's make sure that there's a confrontation.
Actually, Joao just said I'm going to be 5 minutes late. So there you go.
I
We
was
get to give
early.
them the Taylor.
Yeah, no, that works though.
Got to give a quick shout out.
Do it.
My boy Riley at Digital Door Knockers. We're gonna do some business together. The dude.
That's a sweet name.
Yeah.
Digital Door Knockers. By
Yeah,
the way.
that's the company name. Yeah.
Doorbell? I think that's what.
No, they're like digital marketing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Riley. What's up, dog?
What's up, Riley? Let's go. Digital Door Knockers. That is a great name. I love it. I love it a lot. Also, my wife just texted me and said, "Okay, this guy's really cool." She's a big fan.
Thank you, Hunter's wife.
Dude,
I'm
let's
just giving you a heads up. Hunter's wife sucks. Like, she is awful. So take
right,
that
Hunter's
with for what it is.
Cool. Well, I mean, I take any praise
Oh,
I can
man.
get because I'm an attention-seeking whore. So
Dude, you're gonna get some attention on April 20th, my man. I guarantee you that.
I mean,
Guarantee you
everyone's
that.
like, everyone, whenever I go anywhere, they're like, dude, I can't wait to see you fight. And I'm like, cool, I can't wait to disappoint you. No, I'm just kidding.
On weight, ready to go. Ryan's drunk. Don't listen to him. Nicole said she's in the chat.
Oh,
Yes.
Nicole!
No, I'm
It takes more than a beer and a half.
I'm
Yeah,
excited. Like I
too.
said, I'm very thankful you guys have been so on par with stuff, or at least, I mean, how do I want to say this? Just timely with it. Like if I had a question, you guys answered, and like
Thanks,
that
man.
again to someone who like as in our field, we have to chase down so many people for like
Yes.
paperwork and information and everything.
Yeah.
And I know I was probably a little bit of a jackass with the paperwork
No.
around, but
No, trust me, dude.
I know I'm
No.
sure you guys can deal with the worst of the worst. But I just appreciate the timeliness on things and the
Yeah.
professionalism.
Same, man. It's totally reciprocal. You've been awesome to work with. We're excited for the fight. You and Joao are going to throw down. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Brawl in the Burgh 21, ladies and gentlemen. April 20th, Hollywood Casino at the Meadows in Washington. Get tickets, 247fighting.com. Choose Nick as your fighter. What's up, bro? Let's go. Choose Nick. Listen, I'm the worst with white guy handshakes of all time.
You
Like,
want to do
I
a dab
botch.
up? You dab.
Oh. Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my
listen,
gosh,
it's
that
a
made
little-
me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
How
that
awesome-
was like how
It was
awkward
the
that?
whitest. It was the whitest.
You guys are both dorks.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
Joao might give you a better one. He might be a little cooler. You know what I
That's
mean?
even worse, dude.
Yeah.
So fun story.
Because they're
fu-
really cool, and you're like,
yeah. No, dude. There was a time. So real quick, hopefully Joao doesn't get here in the meantime, but I'll try to make it as fast as possible. Before this, I was an MMA journalist. My degree is in journalism, actually.
Cool.
So I would travel and like cover UFC events,
Mhm.
Bellator events, things like that. And I was very fortunate to do a lot of like one-on-one stuff with UFC fighters. And we went to Aljamain Sterling's house.
Mhm.
And,
He just want like first name basis.
you know,
like,
I was
Aljo.
like, just so you know,
Me
the
and Aljo.
Aljamain. You probably know a lot of Aljamains, but the one
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Sterling.
is
He's
Aljamain Sterling.
quite Sterling.
it was way before.
he probably has like the best handshake game.
Dude,
you could imagine. His name's the
dude,
Funk Master.
exactly.
what
It
do you
was
do?
16
See,
minutes.
You already see where
Oh,
this is
God.
going, and I could not have botched it harder, and I could not have wanted to not botch it.
Right.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's
Like I
when
was
you
like,
botch it, right?
God damn.
The
But
second you think about it,
the good news was here's what I've learned about handshakes. You have to be so bad that it becomes funny,
And then
or
it-
you have to nail it.
and then
There's
it's
no in
memorable,
between.
yeah.
If you like kind of get it, they're like, what the fuck was that? But it was so bad with Aljo that we were all like, all right, dude, what was that?
Let's
like,
try
yeah,
again.
yeah. And I was, dude, I've never felt like quite that low. I was like, dude, Aljo just tried to dab me up. I
embarrassed myself.
ruined it completely. But yeah, dude, it was fun. Nick, you've been awesome, brother. For
Thank
real.
you,
This has been great. I appreciate it, man. We'll get Joao in here, talk some smack. He's going to talk about what a nerd you were, and it'll be awesome.
Okay,
Let's go.
he
Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Joao's going to be coming.
He was probably talking the whole time, or listening the whole time, and thinking like, "Dude, I hate him. He needs punch to the
I know,
face."
and I do need punch to the face. You're right. Really. I've been told that my whole life. How I escaped so many ass beatings throughout high school, I will never know. But
Well, can you
Don't question it.
Get the hell out of here, please.
yeah, all right.
Get out of here, Nick.
Thank you guys. I
Yeah.
really do appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
man.
really
No,
do.
you're awesome,
great.
bro. I love how you like just roll with it. Like most people are like, don't know how to take me. Like,
Dude, when you grow up in the Patragas household,
yeah,
if you can't take,
dude,
a
I know
little
the
bit of-
feeling.
You can't take a little bit of razzing. What are you even
Just
doing?
get out. You're not going to make it.
You're not cut out.
It's beautiful.
You're not cut from this cloth.
Ryan, you want to take his seat and kind of carry
Sure.
things until Joao
You can
gets here?
smell my coffee, bro.
Oh, you're gonna get up.
Yeah, I got to pee real quick.
Can I keep this water?
Well,
absolutely.
here's the deal. The video is just staying on the video, and I will just keep talking.
There we go.
Hey,
Okay,
let's go.
So I'm gonna talk about how Danny does his job here, folks. So I'm sitting here behind this desk. Now we have these guys are leaving, right? Joao will be here. Nice talking to you, brother. Joao will be here any minute. But Danny has a tough job. I have all these buttons. I have all these buttons to play with. Well, how do you stop? Wait, I didn't know that they'd keep going. Hold on. Okay, stop. So there's all these buttons, and then I'm gonna let a secret out right now. There are additional buttons that are hidden. So those are the sounds that you're used to hearing, but there's also
I can take my voice and make it a monster.
I can be a robot. I don't know.
I don't know what this is. It just says ducking. I don't know what that is. But every once in a while, I might say, "What the are you doing?" Okay. And then there's small robot, and then there's large robot.
I am a robot. I am a robot.
That's the difference between small and large robot. Then there's megaphone. You're back. Then there's megaphone. That's this sound.
Are you gonna stand there all day, kid? Get out of the way.
Okay. And then there's this is the one that Hunter hates the most. This is the pitch up voice. And it basically sounds like chipmunks.
I don't know why he hates this so much, but he despises this.
Okay.
Then there's this one. I don't know how this differs from the monster. Let's see. This is the monster. This is the monster. Why are these different? The monster has more reverb. There's a difference. You hear that reverberation on the other one? Not really. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest.
What's up, man? Oh boy, unbelievable.
Damn, you are bad at
Strap up,
handshakes.
son.
That was kind of
Well, you couldn't hear what was happening in my ears. I was very
What are you
distracted.
talking about?
I was very distracted when we went for that handshake, but I did live up to the reputation of being terrible at handshakes at least, so that's good.
Oh, yeah. So, like,
Here, get
Service.
up on that mic, bro.
service was a little bad in my car while I was listening to that. So, first thing I hear as soon as I tune in is drunk driving's not funny at all. But and then it cut out.
That is
I didn't hear what the
So as he was
so much about
taking a sip of beer while he was driving here, he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"What did they say?"
I've heard about Joao with those road cannons and the just 40s of cores.
yeah.
there.
And I heard Nick call me a dork too. So that was
He
pretty
did call
funny.
you a dork. That was a good call out.
That was
I think
hilarious.
I think dork's underrated. Dork and nerd are underrated used like put downs.
I mean, hey, if it's true, it's true. So it is
Joao,
what it
can
is.
can I ask you to like make this be right in your mouth?
All right, gotcha.
I mean, you can pull it to
move it
you.
too.
You can
Yeah.
like do whatever you want.
got it.
You can tilt it,
Angle
all
it,
that stuff.
Do whatever you got to
Perfect,
do.
cool.
Get
Got
that
it.
thing right in there.
Mm.
Sorry, dude. the camera again, Ryan. This is unbelievable. What is this?
How can you tell? Like what?
It went. I'm watching for comments and saw it go black. It's a good time.
Once you go black.
Unbelievable. This has got off to a ripping start right here, Joao.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
I don't think we've ever done an in-person back-to-back podcast like this. So congrats on being part of our podcast history.
yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a little weird, like seeing my opponent right before the fight, but
Yeah,
he
weird.
seems so nice. I'm like, damn, we're gonna have to beat the fuck out of each other. Oh,
and
well.
he's down. I mean, it sounds like that's
Yeah.
what he's about to, and you guys are probably going to be friends afterwards. It's
Really,
awesome.
the only way for two really nice guys to like be in the cage together is to just like destroy each other
Just do it.
and then have a
Thanks,
beer
man.
afterwards.
Yeah.
That's it. What is the Joao post-fight celebration like? What do you do after a fight?
Drink a lot, smoke a lot, just have fun with my friends. You know, keep it basic.
Beautiful.
Just get
What's-
drunk. If I remember anything after the fight, then I'm not doing something right. So
Correct. What do you? Thanks, bro. What's the drink of choice? What do you go for?
my drink of choice,
Yeah.
shit. I couldn't tell you. I mean, honestly, I have everybody just buy me so much shit that like I
you
just drink
just-
whatever.
You're
Yeah.
just whatever you're getting me, I'm taking.
The
Oh,
life
yeah.
of
Beautiful.
a 20, what are you, 23?
22.
22? Yeah, that's
That sounds
about
right for sure.
You'll start to be a little more picky as you like. I'm like close to 50, dude. I gotta drink what I can.
I was asking your drink of choice because when we're in our new venue, eventually we're going to have kind of food and alcohol component, and we'll be able to like make drink specials. So I was thinking, like, what could the Joao punch be, or like the Joao shot?
Whatever gets you drunk the fastest.
That's
I'll
awesome.
figure
So
it
just
out.
like straight gasoline.
hell
Like-
yeah. I don't give a fuck about the taste.
It's like,
Don't
is
matter.
this unleaded 93 or 87? It's a vintage 93. But dude, I'm stoked to have you here. It's been a long time coming for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
You've been around, bro. Did you hear Nick talk about how active you've been and how crazy that is?
I actually haven't like heard him say anything about it. I don't know if he was just talking about it right now, but
yeah.
like
Just
I
now
said,
is what I mean. Yeah.
yeah, the service was pretty terrible for me like getting here, so I couldn't really listen too much.
I got you. He was commenting though on the amount of fights you've had in a short amount of time, and as we know, you tried to have another one in between that didn't happen for a completely ridiculous reason. But
Yeah.
you're
I forgot about that. Yeah.
already
Bad
scrubbed
memories.
it from your
Yeah.
brain,
That was so stupid.
dude. Yeah, we don't really need to talk about that. We
We
might.
got to talk about another one. Actually.
We will talk. Okay, talk
Um,
about the other one. Let's go.
not to get like too far ahead because I still got this fight coming up this weekend, but I actually want to fight that Brian kid I was supposed to fight in December because he pulled out of my fight and then he fought on that same day we were supposed to fight.
That's a move
So,
to pull out
yeah.
of a fight and then still
Wait.
fight.
He pulled out of a fight where?
Here for
Us, and then he fought the same.
yeah, he
Dude,
fought for Ohio Combat League. And
I
he
didn't
got-
even
he got
know
rear
that.
naked choked.
Whoa,
I
we
didn't
need to-
even know that. That's-
I'm so tired. We're just going two cameras.
you've
FYI.
you've just dropped some knowledge on us right there, Joe. I didn't even realize that.
How far out did he drop out?
That had to be like what 3 weeks maybe.
You've
I mean,
had
you were scrambling to find me
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
so it had to be close.
yeah, you've had bad luck.
And then you were the fight at the Meadows that like he pulled his arm out. Like,
Oh, I watched that. That was actually pretty disgusting. But like, how do you do that, man? Like, I
But
don't know.
but I can say, even though like this wasn't how it was necessarily supposed to be, but if you need two people to reset your shoulder, you've got Danilo Villafort and Isaac Greeley working on you. Like your shoulder, you're good. You're in good hands right now. Like they had that situation under control. They're like, hey, we've been here, guys. We've seen this a lot. Isaac's like, we got this. Yeah, that I thought it was good too. There was a point where like they reset it, they got it back in plate, whatever. I don't know how shoulders work. I'm not a doctor. But
Neither am I.
he,
So,
he
I
was
mean,
like shadow boxing. He's like, I feel good now. Let's go. And I thought it was still on. And then the doc came back and was like, no, guys,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not.
That's not how this
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
he's always messaging me, like asking me, like, "Oh, you will still want to fight?" And I'm like, "Sure, dude, figure it out. Like, you
Let's
need to
go.
go fight somebody else already, because like I'm still like chasing whatever I can
Yes.
get, and I don't think he's fought yet. So
Yeah, I don't think so either. Now that you say that, but yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. But that's also the fight game. This thing's
It's
wild.
true.
But I will say, you've had an uncharacteristically rough start to your amateur career. I don't even mean in the cage. I mean with getting to the fight. Like
Yeah.
the cancellations for you, dude, pretty crazy. How do you maintain focus through that?
I mean, I guess like for me, it's just about like the process and getting better, like training. So the fights don't really mean anything to me. It's more just like a test of like whether or not I'm getting better. So
Mm-hmm.
if I decide to like take a fight and it doesn't go through, it's like, okay, cool. I got to skip a test. Like it is what it is. Like I'll get another one eventually. I'm not really
Skip a
tripping about
test.
it. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. That's funny, man. Your debut, I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, I seem to remember that was like late notice, right?
That
You
was
fought Craig on
a
short
week.
notice.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So what like obviously with Stout, like you guys stay ready. That's very evident. You guys train very hard, take it very seriously. But what goes into fighting somebody, your MMA debut on a week notice? What was that experience like?
Well, I'm kind of retarded, so that's probably it. But
Beautiful.
But also, I mean, I was just pushing for a fight. Like I really wanted one. And the coaches thought that, like you're ready. So I took it. And I mean, if they would have told me it's a full camp, 2 months, I would have taken it a week, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's not really the end goal, but like it is like milestones and tests there. So as soon as there's an opportunity, if I'm healthy and able, I'm going to do it. So.
Beautiful. What was the fight with Craig like? Because that atmosphere that night, man, that fight card was insane. The crowd was insane. What was that experience like for you?
That was like wild because like that's the first time I've had anybody like actually like throwing shit at me. Even in the training room when you're doing hard sparring, you don't have someone trying to kill you like that. And Mike said it was hilarious. He's like, Craig hits like a grown man. Like he really does. He was swinging every single shot to try to take my head off. So that was a little jarring going from like training with people that you're friends with to having someone try to kill you. But like,
yeah,
it really like brought out everything that I was bad at. And then like looking at that fight next to the fight that I had with Mike is just a huge difference. It was night and day. So I'm glad it happened.
Absolutely. So Craig trains Saturdays at Stout once in a while, right? Have you worked with him since the fight?
Yeah, I've worked with him on Saturdays, and sometimes he comes to the fight team practices on Tuesday nights too.
Right
so yeah, actually everybody that I fought I've trained with afterwards. So
Mike too?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm friends with all of them at Stout and also at his garage. Yeah.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
Like just chilling with everybody, it's nothing personal. The night of it's personal,
of
right?
Course,
we're both chasing something, but like afterward, like who gives a shit, man?
That's so cool, man. I love hearing that. Those are some of my favorite stories. Like I remember there was Austin Martinez and Miguel Francisco when they fought at the Meadows. I'll never forget them at the post fight. We had an after party at Bacon, Bourbon, and Beer. Is that what it was called? Is that the order? I know those are the 3 B's in it, but I don't remember if that's the order of them.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout out. That place rules, by the way. Amazing whiskey, amazing bacon, amazing food in general. But yeah, Miguel and Austin were like so close after that fight, just being boys. And I was like, this is what it's all about. Like
that's pretty cool too, because Miguel almost tore his arm off. I remember
he did.
that.
Yes, you're right.
Scary.
Yeah. It was a pretty nasty little armbar set up there from Miguel, but that's kind of also what Miguel does.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know Miguel extremely well too. What's it like watching your teammate go through something? Because Miguel's tough to match, dude. And this last matchup has gone like Miguel's not fighting Saturday. By the way.
No. There's a tag team bout.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's tagging in with Joao. That's right. How could I possibly forget that?
You're dumb.
But what's it like to watch your teammates go through that when they really want it and you want them to get the fight, but then like it falls off? Like, how do you support them?
I mean, like it does suck for them, but like I think that they view it like similarly to how I do. I don't think that it's very disheartening to them. They just keep pushing forward. Like Britt had it probably the hardest out of anybody.
Oh my God.
And it's just about like staying ready consistently, and your opportunity is going to happen eventually. And you can't let like little bumps in the road just stop you from chasing that. So I think, Miguel will find someone eventually, and then that poor soul is going to get his ass beat, and Miguel will be one to know as a pro. So
there you go. What is you kind of mentioned a mission or kind of a vision that you have for your career. What is your career outlook? Like what are your goals with fighting?
It's just to be the best that I can be individually. I think that like if you have that mindset, that'll take you like super far in anything you do, not just fighting. If you set a goal like, UFC or UFC champ, you might have some bullshit happen. Like, oh, maybe you take a short notice fight for the UFC and they set you up with someone like Sean O'Malley and you get fucked up.
Yeah.
Or you never get that opportunity. Or let's say you get to like almost 30 and you're like, all right, maybe I'm not getting this. Maybe I should quit. Like there's a lot of things that can happen that'll stop you. So for me, I don't have like any like set goal other than just keep trying to get better and be the best I can be. And that's it for me.
That's awesome, man. What is it about the journey through fighting that's appealing to you? Because that's a tough road to travel whenever there's not, a treasure at the end necessarily.
So, well, I think like for most things that I do, I'm pretty good at them right away. Fighting was not one of them. So like it just really bothered me. And it like makes me obsessed with that. So yeah, I mean that's about it. Just trying to get better at something I'm not too great at. But I'm feeling like I'm better at it now. So
That's awesome. Did you fight growing up? Like, have you always been interested in combat to a degree, or are you specifically talking like formal fighting?
I'm talking like formal fighting. Fighting growing up, yeah, I fought like every other kid did, but like, I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. It was like 30 seconds just swinging on each
Sure.
other. But yeah, I don't really count that. I did karate, did some karate competitions, won some competitions, but also that's not like real fighting because it's a point system. There's stuff that like carries over that I can do like striking wise,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very different from like, you tag someone and they split it up to like someone just throws a flurry on you and you're rocked. You're like, oh shit. Now I
Yeah.
gotta get back into this.
Yeah. What was that realization like for you? You get into stout because everybody knows like stout Saturdays get pretty real once in a while, allegedly.
Yeah.
What was that like the first time you were in kind of like a formal setting, but that was also very competitive and like a real fight?
I don't think I actually really experienced like that at the gym just because they do such a good job of preparing you to
Mm.
get to sparring. Like there's so many classes and steps that the coaches want you to take before they even put you there that once you're there, you're just like, I don't know. For me, I didn't get like super nervous.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little bit. There was like some people that I saw go harder in sparring than others. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to spar with that guy, but it's not really because I'm like scared of sparring. It's more so I just don't want to get hurt because I don't want to stop training.
Makes perfect sense. So what was the first experience with Craig? You kind of talk about him throwing like a grown man. I like that expression for it. But what was the overall experience like? Because I think it's super interesting for me with amateur fighters making a debut, especially. We realize it because we're in the thick of it, the paperwork, the weigh-ins, all the formalities of it before you ever even start the walk to the cage. Like, what was that whole process like for you?
I mean, it happened like pretty fast, but it wasn't. Trying to think of how to put this. Like, I don't know. I don't really remember it too much. Like, it wasn't like a big deal to me or anything. It was just like, oh, I got to fight. Cool. Let me tell everybody I got to fight, and we'll see what happens. So
That's hilarious. I remember, dude, you sold like a good number of tickets too on a week's notice. We were like, that was impressive. Like he got some people to come out on short notice. And then in February, obviously a bigger crowd came out for you in February just against Ratani. What has like your family, are these mostly family, friends, coworkers? Like who's coming out to your fights?
family, friends, coworkers. I got like cousins stuff getting pay-per-views. But yeah, I mean, everybody's super supportive. We got a big team, and Mexicans love fighting too, so that works out pretty well.
No doubt, dude. Your family was pretty legendary at the fights for sure. Very noticeable.
Yeah, they're
and,
loud as
and
fuck.
fun, and it's super fun, man. We love that for sure. They're coming out, I hope, in April.
They are.
Let's go. Let's go.
Even bigger crowd, hopefully.
Let's go. You kind of joked with me about the $9 paycheck. You're like,
Oh,
that's
dude,
a
that
little
was
better
awful.
than a $9. Was that the canceled fight? When did you get $9?
The $9 was the Craig fight.
Okay, because it was
So,
super short notice.
Yeah, it was like 3 rounds of just brutal ass beating and $9. Like, here you go. I'm like, all right, man. Thanks. Can't even get gas with that.
It's
so.
like, what did you get with that? That
I
begs
have
the
no
question.
idea. I honestly don't even think I like put the check through. Like
You just didn't even.
I
you're
don't even
like,
think I ever cashed that check. If you guys probably
Didn't
looked, it's
even
probably
earn this.
not cashed.
didn't
Dude,
even
I was
notice.
wondering why I had an extra $9 laying around.
Ryan was living large. He was balancing his checkbook, and he was like, "What's this extra $9?" Like, that's from Joao, bro. But dude, I did want to drill into the whole stout kind of ecosystem because watching, it's great. Like watching a career like yours grow and blossom, and you're taking Muay Thai fights, and you're doing other things as well in between MMA. But watching the entire team grow is really interesting to me because when we talk to Mike and Will, and like they give us fighters who are ready to fight, always there's a couple extra names in there. What's it like being a part of that system where it's constantly new people, but also like just the most recent example I can think of, Lucas Siebert making that jump from amateur to pro? Like it's either guys leveling up or new guys entering the system. Like it's just this constant kind of flow of fighters. What's it like being a part of that?
It's pretty cool. Like you get a lot of different looks. Everybody has their own style, and I think the good thing about our gym is that he doesn't like Mike and Will. They actually both don't really teach you a set style. If you go to other gyms, they'll try to like make everybody the same type of fighter. But it seems like they recognize like, not everybody's the same, and they work on you with what you're like good at, what you're bad at, what you like to do. And everybody's different. So whenever I actually go and sign up to fight somebody, there's no way I'm going to be like, oh, I've never seen something before. There's like karate guys, we got them, Muay Thai guys, we got them, boxers, everything. So that's pretty cool.
That is great, man. Where do you primarily train? Are you at the strip more?
Mostly
north?
at the strip.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? And I'm not asking you to share like the secret sauce or anything, but you kind of alluded to having a variety of guys available, different styles. When you're looking at a particular matchup, how much do you guys drill into like film study or specific game plans, or is it more so focused on you and just trying to do what Joao does well?
I think it's focused on me. Like, I think film study's great and you should watch professionals, but like watching amateurs probably just makes you bad because you like see them do some stupid shit and you're like, oh, maybe I'll try that. Also, you're going to assume they're going to get better. Like, I didn't even bother looking up Nick's fight because it was like 4 years ago. Like, he's not going to be the same guy at all.
Yeah.
You watch my fight with Craig, not the same guy when I fought Mike.
Yep.
So, I mean, even for Craig, like how he just beat Chance, that was a wild fight. That was my favorite fight of the entire night.
Bro,
So
that was so insane.
Awesome.
Did you got to see it?
Yeah. I was
that's
in the
awesome,
crowd.
dude. That's awesome. How were you feeling after the Rattani fight? It was a close decision, man. It really was. It was a close fight, super close. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way, obviously. But what were you thinking in there as the decision was being read?
I mean, I was proud of what I did. Usually, like with my other fights, I haven't had that. With my Muay Thai fight, I started off way too slow. In the first 2 rounds, the guy didn't do anything significant at all. It was just like touching me with like leg kicks, body kicks, little pointy stuff that just wasn't doing anything to me. And then in the 3rd round, I locked in. I'm like, all right, I got you, and just beat the shit out of him. But I was still disappointed in my performance for that Muay Thai fight because I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Like, I know I could have done better if I just like put my foot on the gas earlier. I probably could have beat this dude. But with Mike, 2nd round, immediately they're like, all right, you got to start going. And I did. And the 3rd round, Mike said something to me, got me like worked up, and I'm like, all right, let's go. In the 3rd round, I was throwing.
Can I ask what he said? Can I say that?
Nah, we're gonna keep the secret sauce.
There we
We're gonna
go.
keep the secret sauce.
Hey, I tried, ladies and gentlemen. We all wanted to know. Let's be honest, we all wanted to know. But that's fun. So that's a little gamesmanship. Was it like, you can tell me this at least, was it like between rounds or during the round?
It was between the rounds.
Okay.
Between the rounds.
That's fun. So you wouldn't like Joao when he's angry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, usually I'm not like, I don't think emotional like support from the corner, maybe not support, but like emotional advice from the corner is great. Like you should probably be telling them what to do, like technically, but like in that moment, it definitely worked. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going out there. Go throwing. So that was pretty cool.
Oh man, so Mike Wilkins told you.
Mike.
The whole time I thought you meant Rattani. I was like,
no.
I was like, damn, Rattani said something that set him off. That's fun. Okay, yeah, never mind. It's still fun. It's just not what I had in my mind.
He thought he was talking shit.
Yeah. I thought Rattani talked mad shit that like ignited a fire. I was like, man, what did he say? That doesn't seem like something he would do.
Rattani's so nice.
Dude,
nicest dude ever.
He truly is. So you said you trained in his garage, by the way?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
How'd that come up?
So we were talking afterward, like the fight. We were like just having discussion about each other, more personal life. He speaks Spanish, by the way.
Did not know that.
Pretty cool. He's
Amazing.
actually like fluent. So
Nice.
he was speaking to me in Spanish, and we were talking about training. So he's like, all right, cool. Like we'll go into my garage, and I was going to show him some clinch stuff. He shows me some jiu-jitsu stuff because I didn't get to see his jiu-jitsu game at all.
That's true.
Thank God. Thank God, man. Shout out to my wrestling, man.
That's awesome.
Honestly, but that was pretty cool.
So, is it safe to say if you had to grapple Mike Rattani at Sprawl in the Burgh, he would get the better of that exchange? Is that what we're saying here?
I'm not sure. 2 minutes is pretty short for a round, but like in a 5-minute grappling round, it was not great.
Not great for the Joao camp.
Yeah, not great.
Got it. Is Craig Perry also fluent in Spanish, by the way?
I have no clue.
I feel like Craig Perry also knows Spanish.
I think he does.
Pretty sure. So that's kind of crazy that the two people you fought are fluent in Spanish.
That's pretty weird.
Pretty wild. We should have asked Nick. It wouldn't surprise me if Nick knows Spanish. He's a pretty smart dude, I think.
It seems like it.
Yeah, this is interesting. We've got Joao versus Spanish speakers series going on. Who's next? Yeah, dude. With
Unintentional Joao versus Spanish speakers. series.
That's an interesting one. Why does he know Spanish?
He lived in Spain.
That's a good reason to know Spanish of all
Yeah.
reasons. Yeah.
I mean, Mexico too. But
He's
other
lived
than
in Mexico
that,
and Spain.
like, yeah.
Yeah. What was your family like growing up, man? Because I know that Mexican heritage is very important to you. Like it's awesome, man. Like the walkout song, your family, like I said, the support. How much of that is a part of like what you think about when you're actively fighting? Because the Mexican fighter is a real thing, right?
Mhm.
How much do you feel like that's a part of you and a part of what you want to be?
It's super important to me. I've always gotten support from my family in Mexico. Like they're always messaging me every time I have a fight. They're always watching it, like, saying some sort of crazy shit. I wish they could be in the crowd. Eventually I'll be fighting in Mexico too, so that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, just like the heart that they show when you watch Mexican fighters, it's not always about winning. It's just about going there and like just throwing down. Throw down, be aggressive, have good defense, and that's pretty cool to me. Love that.
What is it, man? I'm sure you've thought about it a lot more than me and have better insight than me, but it's such a real thing. Like people say it almost like it's a stereotype, but it's just real. Like, what is the Mexican fighter to you?
I don't know. I think they just they appreciate everything that they have, and then when they go out there, they're just putting everything out there, all their emotions. Like there's a lot of like poverty and not a great like living condition in Mexico, so that's like an escape for them, and momentary happiness. They just put on a show.
Yeah, it shows, man. And it shows that it fuels your fights too. That we always say, like internally, there's never a boring Joao Martinez fight. We're like, it doesn't matter who we match him with. It's going to be a fun
It's gonna
fight.
be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun no matter what we do here. So you're certainly living up to that, man. With Nick specifically, you kind of said earlier that you didn't look at his other fight because it didn't matter, but I'm sure there's still some kind of expectation for the fight. Like, how do you think this one's going to go? What are you going to be looking to impose?
Well, I'm actually going to impose grappling in this fight. I think that if I did do that with Mike, then I would have won the decision. I'm not saying like it's going to be easy to submit him or anything, but like it's time these judges like give me a win, man. So I'm going to take him down. Going to use my wrestling offensively. Last fight, I just used it to keep myself standing. And if I would have tried to reverse positions or take him down, I think I could have taken him down. So I'm going to go for that. And striking, a lot of aggression, high pace, violence.
You both said violence. That's good. Did
Hell
you
yeah.
hear him say violence?
No.
Ryan said, what should people expect from you in this fight? And he just literally just said violence. So there you go.
Andy said aggression. So you guys have to out aggress each other.
I mean, seems like we're in for a complete banger of a fight. Like I said, I mean, no, I think this is the fight of the night on the card. When I look at the card, I'm like, this is the fight that has the fight of the night potential. Everybody knows, anybody who watches the UFC knows what a fight of the night means. It's not one guy goes out and destroys the other guy. It's two guys stand toe to toe and just dish it back and
We're
forth.
talking about one guy destroying another guy. I cannot wait to watch Sky fight. This guy's going to murder this kid.
You
If you're
big-
listening to this, please don't back out of your fight.
a big Sky guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sky.
So obviously, I've met Sky at the fights, talked to Sky a lot. I like both guys. Fred seems awesome too. So when you've got, I know Sky's not a debut, but he's a debut for us. When you've got two like debuts, it's kind of like I don't know what to expect, but I know what I've heard from each guy. I think it's going to be a good fight. But what do you think about Sky? Let's talk about Sky a little bit. Shout
Super
out,
cool
Sky.
dude. Came to the gym a few months ago and just puts in a lot of work. It's super friendly. We're going to be cutting weight together next week, so it'll be a lot of fun. And
It's a good time.
It's athletic, has a lot of power, and yeah, he's just going to beat this dude up. It's going to be very ugly.
I did see him
Can't
do
wait.
a backflip on Instagram, and I was very impressed. Very impressed.
Yeah,
that
I
was
can't do
awesome.
that shit. That was cool as fuck.
Dude, I want to drill it. You kind of mentioned cutting weight. How do you deal with weight cut? Did you grow up wrestling? Like,
No,
okay.
Not at all.
I didn't think so. So how did you learn weight cutting? How do you get that part of the game down?
See, I can't spill like too much, but it's just science. Like fight night, I weigh 15 more pounds than I weigh in it.
That's pretty wild. That's wild.
I was talking to Mike and he told me he felt it.
Normal.
Like, when we were in the cage, he was like, "Oh, I definitely felt it." I'm like, "Yep."
It works.
Yeah.
Is that straight from Will? I know Will's like a complete scientist with this stuff. Does he control your weight cut?
I wouldn't say like he controls it, but definitely like guided me through everything.
That's a better word.
I always
yeah.
I always like to like double check like all my information, but he's easily like the best source for weight cutting. So yeah, I'm gonna weigh in at 135, and then I'll be back at like 152 the night of, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?"
It's a different guy.
Yeah.
Nick, well, you just met him, so it's not going to surprise you now, but I was surprised when he showed up how tall he was. I didn't realize he was that tall. Like, it's a pretty big frame for a 30, but Ratani, super similar frame,
Yeah,
I feel like.
Exact same one.
Yeah.
So
Did
that's
you-
actually another reason why I was training with Mike. I'm like, dude, you're built the same. So
you knew that.
yeah, I
already.
knew he was gonna be tall.
Okay. How'd you know that?
Mike
Out of
told me.
Okay. Mike.
Wilkins.
No,
I
I
should be
know.
specific.
No. I
I
knew
should be
that's who you
specific
meant
now.
that time.
We
but
have to clarify Mike's now.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Mikes going. There's not too many Joaos going around. Though.
Yeah, no, not really. Unless we go to Brazil or Portugal, we might run into some problems.
Dude, your name has been topic of great discussion with the 247 team. We've said your name about 400 different ways over the years.
All right, so some people might get a little mad at me at the gym, but like whenever people ask me how to say my name, sometimes I'll tell people how to say it wrong, or they'll be like, "Is this right?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's right."
Oh my
And
god.
when they say my name wrong, it's just so funny to me.
Oh my god.
Sometimes people will know me and they'll be like 2 years, and they'll be like, "Hey man, I've known you for 2 years. Like, is this how I say your name?" And it's just always hilarious. So people have gotten my name wrong my entire life, and I just kind
Sure.
of started fucking with people like 5 years ago.
What's the most common miss? Joao?
Maybe I don't know.
He was actually saying, "What's the most common miss, Joao?" Like he was
Yeah.
actually mispronouncing it.
Yeah, Joao. What is the most common miss?
But yeah, probably like or Joa, like people say. that.
Joa.
Yeah,
Okay. I
Joa.
could see that.
I mean, I think it looks pretty like easy to read. Like J-O, Joe, and then A-O, ow, Joao. I think it's pretty easy. But
When you put it that way, it makes me feel real dumb forever not knowing for sure.
I think maybe it's just like
I try to
deceptive.
tell you all the time.
It's probably just deceptive because like it looks so simple to say that you're like, no, it's got to be wrong.
Here's the thing, as a super white guy, here's what I'll tell you is deceptive about it. It looks very foreign. So my brain goes into, oh, this is fancy. You got to say it weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's where the disconnect is, but it's really just like Joe. It's exactly what it looks
Yeah.
like. It's not that complicated. There's a savage watching this video right now who just chimed in. I want to get your thoughts on this guy, Farman Hasanoff. What do you know about this guy?
Dude, he's a beast. It's just so scary and so good. Like every time I watch him, I'm just like, God damn, that LFA fight, awesome.
Does he lift weights? Because it looks like he lifts weights.
Has to. I mean, I don't know, but he has to.
Yeah, dude, he looks like a fake, like a carving. Here, like Dalton Rosta is very similar. Like those two, and Dalton is down at Stout all the time too when he's home. Have you worked with Dalton at all?
I
I've
haven't,
seen him in
no.
the gym at least.
I've seen him
Talk to
in the
him.
gym,
Yeah, but Farman just
He
reminds
needs
me
to
of that.
start lifting.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he weighs in at the weights that he
It doesn't
does.
make
It
sense.
doesn't make sense at all.
0 sense. Yeah. Speaking of cutting weight, that one makes absolutely 0 sense. Dalton, what would be the all jacked Pittsburgh team? Dalton, Farman, Cody Gamble for sure. Who else?
Jacked. Cody's huge.
Cody looks so fake. Like when you're near him, you're like, "What, dude? We're not the same species."
I
There's no
remember
way.
the first time I saw a picture of Cody Gamble, and I texted Isaac, and I go, "This dude is so scary."
Yeah.
Like, there's no part of him that's not scary.
No.
Except for his personality.
He's
a
super
great
nice.
guy.
Yeah. When you're around him, you're like, "Oh, he's
Yeah,
just
well, good thing I was born small, because if I was like a heavyweight, no way I'd be fighting people like that. Heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, hell no.
Nah,
I'll take my bantamweight brain damage and run with that. I'm not doing anything above
bantamweight
that,
brain damage." Is that? Do you think you'll be at 135? Like, is that your final destination? for
No,
weight?
I ate like shit. I could easily make 25. Definitely
wow.
could make 25.
Okay.
If I actually dieted down and walked around like 140 pounds, I could probably make 25. I can cut weight pretty easy. I don't get miserable. Like mentally,
Nice.
I'm pretty tough. So
Yeah.
like it sucks, but I'm just sitting there chilling, hallucinating, singing some songs. You know?
I mean, that's just a typical Tuesday for you, though. I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen the memes, bro. I've seen the
Yeah.
memes.
Shit posts.
We got Lights Out Liam Jones in the chat too. What's up, Liam? Thanks for tuning in. He said Cody is the man. Cody really is the man. Good dude. Competes at Sprawl in the Burgh 3, by the way, a day before you fight. So if you guys are looking to see Cody and Joao, come to the doubleheader. Come to both shows. I dare you.
Do you guys do like a thing for both events, like a combo price?
So there is no combo price, but we have discussed this. We're trying to figure out how to make that happen the next time because I feel like a combo price needs to happen. But spoiler alert, since you asked, if you've bought tickets to Brawl in the Burgh 21 to see Joao or to see anybody else on the card, you will be receiving a discount code for a ticket to Sprawl in the Burgh 3 very soon. Check your email.
That's pretty cool.
So no combo, but yeah, we are going to do
I
something.
love how
like
you
that.
tried to sound sexy. Like,
Was
check
it
your
sexy?
Check your email.
Joao, was it
No,
sexy?
no,
Oh, yeah,
you
dude.
said. I
Thanks,
said
bro.
you tried to
No.
sound.
He said it was, and I trust him. So thanks, dude.
You trust
I
the
appreciate
wrong
that.
guy then.
I do want to. We glanced over it, and I want to come back to really get into it a little more. Your shit posting is some of the best that I've ever seen. Where does this skill come from?
Where does it come from?
Yeah.
Like shitty, edgy 13-year-old humor, probably. The military also. Yeah, just like bad influences in my life. Just trying to make shit that's not funny.
Perfect. It's
Right.
working. I'll say that.
It works for me, man.
But I had no idea there was any military background at all. So now
Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps Reserve for 4 years.
right on, dude. So obviously, right out of high school,
Mhm.
went
Yep,
in.
when I was 17.
What went into that decision? What was that experience like for you?
Well, I was a like stupid kid, super undisciplined, always getting in trouble, didn't really have like a future at all. Definitely couldn't go to college because my GPA was atrocious, just enough to graduate. So I had to go do something with my life, and I was like drawn to it. So that's how that came to be.
Interesting. How did it help you? Because just to expand on that thought a little bit, like talking to you, you seem super intelligent to me. And every time, I'm not just saying that now, like every time I've worked with you, I've been like, dude, Joe's the man, like super easy to talk to, clearly understand everything, like really intelligent, really insightful. So I think a lot of high school kids might want to hear this from you, honestly, because there's a lot of kids who have low GPAs and are told maybe that, you know, they're not going to amount to anything, whatever it is. But like clearly it's been inside you. Like you don't just get smart 4 years in the Marines, right? So
Definitely not. You probably get a little dumber, honestly.
So
Wait, this is so weird. Literally, like today, you were just telling me like Joel's the dumbest person I've ever met, and now you're gonna sit here and say this? Like what?
I never said those words in that order in my life. Maybe you misheard the sentence. Maybe it was a little jumbled. No, but seriously, dude, like it's a big thing. Like GPA, high school success. A lot of kids, I feel like, fall in that trap. But like your spirit, your energy, like you've continued to do things that you like. You didn't let that define you, I guess is what I'm getting at. So what was that moment like for you? Like, all right, like that's what I did in high school, but that's not actually me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly just how I go about like everything in my life. Like you're not defined by what you've done in the past. It's like what you do now. You're also not defined by your thoughts. It's like your actions. So like even though I was immature and did a bunch of dumb shit when I was 16, that shouldn't stop me from pursuing something that's actually going to mean something to me. So just went right into it. And it was not easy, but it was a good time, and I don't regret doing it at all. And I'm not actually going to have some of my buddies from my unit and my old team leader come into this fight, so it'll be pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. When did you develop that mentality? Because I feel like exactly what you said is what a lot of people need to hear. What I did in the past doesn't define who I am now. Like, when did you realize that?
I guess like probably like right around the end of high school. There's like some good influences in my life that just were telling me like, hey, like, you know, you got to do something, but don't worry about what you've already done. You just got to keep pushing forward. You can't change what you've done. A lot of people dwell on the past. They'll look at like, you know, in my situation, they'll be like, all right, you got a shitty GPA, you're about to graduate. You can't go to college, so now you got to go work a shitty job, or you got to go do something you don't want to do. But that's not necessarily true. Like, you know, just go do what you want to do. If you fail, then you fail, but at least you tried.
Yeah. And you're still super young in your journey, man, for sure. Like the Joao story is still just beginning, but do you run it out? Do you do projections? Do you look like where I want to be in 5 years, 10 years? What do you see for yourself?
Yeah, I try not to get like too far ahead in the future, just because, you know, it's never guaranteed. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I'd like to teach martial arts eventually.
Nice.
I mean, I do a little bit now, but like I'd like to like make it a full-time thing, like a job, have a school, teach like Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA, and just like spread that. Because also I think that this is a good thing for people that might not have anything else, like right out of high school. You could get into this, and it's definitely not great for money or anything, but like, you know, it's a good time. It'll keep you out of trouble. You won't be starting shit with people because you know what other people are capable of. So.
Sure.
You got a $9 check and you're like, oh, there's not about money, bro.
How could you-
$9.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude. You
Hell
can
yeah,
do a
dude.
lot with that. Your last check was a lot better.
Dude, $9 might be like a bag of chips now. Like honestly, it's
How
probably like
crazy.
$7. for a
Yeah,
bag of
yeah,
chips.
a half bag of chips.
Party
You
size.
you
Ridiculous.
open it and it's just nothing.
That's true.
That's some bullshit.
Air.
That's some
Chip
bullshit.
air.
Wait, what do they call that? Shrinkflation? Is that what that?
That's
there's a-
Bidenomics.
Bidenomics. That well, yeah,
I
that's
got
another.
no clue, but that's why I get Pringles. No, air. No
Dude,
fucking air.
Dude, that's a great call. You always know what you're getting with Pringles.
Yeah.
What would you do if you got a can of Pringles and you open it, it was like half full?
Dude, that'd be
How
so
pissed would you
bullshit.
be?
But like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised like 5 years from now they're trying to just rip us off. Everybody's ripping us off now. So
That's facts. You talked about the drinks, but I want to know like the Joao. I'm sorry, you're still a week out, so I don't feel as bad. But like, what food do you start to miss when you start making weight?
pizza. Pizza's great. Burgers.
Mm,
But
burgers
really,
rule.
like it's not like I eat that stuff all the time, but it's just that when I know I can't have it, I'm like, fuck, I want it. And then once I'm actually able to have it, I'm like, it's not that great. Just
I
go
really
back to
wasn't
eating
missing that
chicken and
much.
steak. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite pizza in Pittsburgh?
Favorite pizza in Pittsburgh. Do you know Il Pizzaiolo? It's a restaurant
like I do.
in Mount Lebanon.
Okay,
Super good. Awesome pizza.
they got the pizza. Have you
Awesome
ever had
pizza.
that, Ryan? Ryan's more of a local pizza connoisseur than me.
Yeah, I definitely know of them, but I
What's-
don't know that I've had them.
What's the place right in Bridgeville now? The new place. What's it called?
What new?
The Italian place near Firebirds and Permanis and all that.
Oh yeah, that's like it's similar. It's
Is that
I
what
think
it's
the same.
called?
I think it's the same. I don't think it's Il Pizziola, but it's like a version of their store. But it's the same family, but it's not the exact same.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's-
it's
that's good to
awesome.
know.
And I don't know, like their pasta is so over the top good that I haven't had their pizza much.
Dang. We gotta, you know who I've always heard has good pizza, but I've never experienced it for myself is Permanis. People say Permanis pizza is super underrated.
I think it's underrated, but it's like drink pizza.
Yeah, it's just because you would never expect Permanis to have good pizza.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think
it
you
is
go
good.
there for pizza.
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's like, why would you do
If
that?
you were like, we're going to find the best pizza place, and you went there, you'd be like disappointed.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
But
But-
it is better than like you would think a
Correct.
sandwich place should. be.
Correct. That makes perfect sense. But yeah, dude, we're I'm not gonna talk about food anymore for you. I'm sorry, dude.
Nah,
Is
you're
it?
good. It's not like I don't care. I'm
You
still
did-
eating a lot.
It was when you said you
All
could
right,
make
it-
125. I was like, all right, he's not having a brutal weight cut.
In that case, let's talk about food.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the food. But no, dude, I just you mentioned like getting out of this, maybe teaching martial arts someday, and it made me think like what better place to be than Stout, right? In terms of being somewhere to train, but also a business in the area. Like they are very business oriented. Obviously, Warren and everybody at the top super smart about what they're doing. What kind of do you even care about or pay attention to like business lessons along the way? Or are you like, okay, like this strategy is pretty cool because
Yeah, I
a
do.
new location opens up, you know?
Definitely pick up on it. I think that like for me, the hardest thing would be like training people that don't really want to do it. You know how there's people that just go for like workouts, fitness,
Mhm.
but like you can see, like I know these people personally, right? So like I know that maybe some of them are like annoyed, but they're just very good at working with people. So just picking up those skills and motivating people also that might not be too great initially. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. I definitely keep an eye out. You can learn something from anybody, not just at Stout, anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I can say, man, personally, every interaction we've ever had, I'm sure you'll be great at that. Like you're good with people. You're good to be around. You're awesome to work with as a fighter. Like with your fights, we always enjoy having you fight for us, man. It means a lot. And I appreciate that. I did want to ask what it is like kind of you fought at. It's funny because you fought at our two biggest shows like of all time, like the best crowds of all time. What is the fight night experience like for you as a fighter walking in with like that many people, that kind of crowd, and just soaking in that atmosphere?
It's so cool. Like initially I don't get nervous at all. And then once I like get to the venue, I'm like, oh fuck. And I see all the people coming in. But then like once I start warming up, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And then you walk out and you just feel famous. It's the coolest shit ever. Like everyone's just screaming for you to knock someone's head off. Or like I also get it like from like the other crowds too. Like when I did my Muay Thai fight, not a single person there was rooting for me. Like there's, my group of people, but
Right.
that entire crowd was just wanting me to get murdered. And I'm just like, ah, fuck yeah, dude. This is cool.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the picture I used on the podcast promotion, but you were walking in the cage and like giving a peace sign to the photographer.
Yeah.
It was a real chill moment. So I wanted to ask you how you're able to maintain that fun, lighthearted, like what I kind of know you as a person, but it's also kill time at that point. Like you got to be flipping that switch at some point. So what is that switch like for you and when does it happen?
I honestly don't know when it happens. Like to me, it's like, I mean, it's a fight. It's definitely serious, but like, I mean, we're two like shirtless dudes fighting in a cage for a bunch of people's amusement. Like it's just all a bunch of bullshit. So like, I mean, I don't get like, it's fun for me. It's fun for everybody else. Like I'm already in there ready to do that. Like by the time I'm walking in the cage, that's just who I am. So
Another day at the office.
yeah.
Does it feel different though than like sparring or train? Like,
oh, definitely. Yeah.
In what way specifically would you say?
I mean, like you don't really have the pressure of people watching you in sparring at all. Also, people are trying to actually like hurt you at the fight. But other than that, like it's all an illusion. Like the crowd. If the crowd wasn't there, you'd be doing the same shit that you're doing every fucking day. So
yeah,
same thing.
That's great perspective, man. Have you felt that from the jump, or is that kind of coached through? Obviously, Mike and Will are two of the best coaches in the area. Do they help you with that, or is that kind of always been something that you've kind of inherently understood?
I mean, I think I understood it, but they definitely do help, especially Coach Will.
Yeah.
Like anytime I have any type of nerves or I'm feeling some type of way about anything, I just ask him and he helps me out with it.
That's sick. Will's brain's pretty cool, man. I gotta say.
Yeah, no, he's super smart.
Yeah.
He's the striking John Donaher.
That's a great way to put it, man. And you obviously being more of a striking base, like what's it like working with a guy like that regularly?
I mean, he's a genius. Like if you go anywhere else to any other gyms, the way that they teach striking, it's not wrong, but like they're teaching you like combinations or things at a very simple level. And he's more so teaching you how to think. And that just like, I guess like, when you go to another gym and someone explains something, you're like, oh yeah, well, no shit. Just because like you could put that together by the way that he teaches you things with concepts and positioning and everything else.
What was that? I'm trying to think of the right word for it. What was the process like to learn kind of his vocabulary and the way he teaches? Because I'm sure that's very different. Like you just said, you go to another gym and it feels like, yeah, no crap. But if Will's is a little more elevated, what did it take to get on his level, vocab wise, terminology wise, like just the understanding of a system?
I don't think it took very long for me because I'm always that person that's just like, why? Anytime someone asks me like, okay, or tells me do this, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Why? So he's just always giving you the reasons behind everything. And I think that's a lot better than the system most coaches have where they're just like, all right, because I told you to, or because it works. Because that's not like
not a
good
great
coaching.
answer.
Yeah, it's not good coaching.
Yeah. Do you guys, after a fight, is there any kind of post-fight debrief where you guys rewatch it together and kind of dissect things? Or is that just something coaches do on their own and kind of report back with what they find?
Yeah, they just report back with what they find. Like I'll send them the video of my fight and be like, hey, do you see anything that I see or I don't see? But usually it's pretty much the same stuff that I picked up because like
nice.
I guess like striking understanding, I have a good understanding of it, but it's different when you're performing. So like even though I like fucked something up, like I know I fucked it up. I'm not, naive. So
right.
I just need that confirmation though, like that someone else sees what I'm seeing. So usually that works out pretty well. Like I get that.
Yeah, dude, it's super interesting. You hear fighters talk about this all the time where they don't even know what round it is or they just totally lose track of time. And it's not even because they're like concussed or something, which is a totally different conversation, but just being in that competitive environment, you're not super aware exactly. You might think you did something that you didn't do or do something that you didn't think you did. So for you, when you rewatch your fight, are you ever surprised like, damn, like I didn't even know that happened or didn't know I did that?
For my fight with Craig, definitely. This last fight, like I can remember everything like pretty clearly. Even the shit that like crowd was shouting at me. It was like first round,
That's
maybe
awesome.
20 seconds in, someone's like, grab his dick and twist it. Like, hearing that. Like, or,
I didn't
and then
know that.
someone's yelling at us like towards the end of the first round for us to hit each other because it's like a feel out round the first round.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was pretty aware. I was way more calm this last time. Like, it definitely helped visualizing. I visualized a lot.
Nice.
And just scenarios that I knew 100% were going to happen.
Yeah.
And then once they happened, it just kept me like in the moment.
That's
when I'm in the
awesome.
corner, like just, you know, like feeling the ice on my back and, you know, like I'm sweating, like I'm just trying to really focus on my environment and it keeps me there. So I remember a lot more. Whenever I had my fight with Craig, I wasn't doing any of that stuff.
Mhm.
So it's all a blur. Also, I got punched in the face a lot, so I probably don't remember it because I got a concussion.
That also adds into it. Do you think that that was? Don't mean to laugh at your concussion, Joe. But that was just a really funny way to put it.
Yeah.
Do you think that was like first fight jitters, or do you think that was just like part of the process? From one fight to another, of course, you're going to grow. Or do you think it was like that fight specifically kicked it off for you?
I think it was probably just first fight jitters.
Yeah.
Usually like pretty calm about everything, and it wasn't really the fight that scared me or anything. It was more so just like the crowd and the lights and the cameras. Because I usually like to like just stay out of the light. I don't really like attention. When I was younger, I did a bunch of stupid shit and there was always a camera. And then I started to shy away from that when I was like 17. So they make me nervous. Like even yesterday, you texted me about the podcast. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. But then I was like, you know what? I got to market myself, man. Like,
thanks, dude.
I need to make money. I need to make you guys money. So I keep getting brought on. And like, I mean, money makes the world go round. So
is this terrible? Do you feel terrible?
It's
Are the
not.
cameras
It's
off?
not.
All right.
But
Thanks,
when you
dude.
think about
thanks,
it,
dude.
when you think about it, it's like scary. But once you're here, it's like, all right.
I
man.
do.
There's nothing more terrible than sitting across
Honestly.
from this dude.
Honestly, is there a worse?
He's gonna like you. What people don't understand is when you leave here, he's like gonna do nothing but talk smack on you.
All the smack. Actually, we'll let it record when you're driving home. Just listen.
Yeah,
We'll be able to hear it.
he's gonna be talking so much smack on you.
That's me. Everybody knows that's my brand. Just talking smack on literally everybody. But it is funny you say that in a genuine sense, because Nick said like the same thing. When I reached out to him for the podcast, I could tell he was like, it's not my thing, but like, I'll do it for you.
That's
Yeah.
so weird, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, but like anytime that I see anything just from his Instagram or like, I'm just like, this guy's like really similar to me.
Mhm.
You should just beat him up then.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what?
you should.
I should.
There can only be one Joao. You
That's
can't
true.
both be the same. Dude, it's true. And I told, I don't know, like you said, you had kind of crappy service coming in. I don't know if you heard it, but at one point I told him, like, you and Joe are definitely going to be friends after this fight.
Oh, yeah,
Like, for
100%.
sure. You're the same person.
It sounds to
great.
me like Joao finds training partners through fighting.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, listen, if you can beat me, that means you have something to teach me.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. But yeah, I think I'm going to have something to teach him instead.
Nice. There it is. There's the line. Let's go. There it was. The organic smack talk. Let's go. That's the best kind. Dude, it really is. It's always a pleasure, obviously, working with the whole Stout team, but you specifically, man, I always love getting you on our cards. Like, you're a pleasure to be around. You're a pleasure inside the cage. Like we said, there's never a boring Joao Martinez fight. We know what we're getting. This fight with Nick, dude, it's been marked on our calendars for a very long time. So thanks for being a part of it, man. We can't wait to see it. April 20th, ladies and gentlemen. You got any parting words? You got any sponsors? Anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, actually, I do. If you guys
Stay close to the mic.
Got you. If you guys go to my Instagram, I have a link in my bio for this kid named Ben. There's a group of friends that my brother has that I've been teaching martial arts to. And Ben recently got diagnosed with cancer. So I would like anybody, if you can, if you're able to support him. Any donation, $1, $2, $5. If you can do more, if you're blessed to do that, please do that. He's super talented kid, and I really wish the best for him. And I think he's going to be there. If he can't be there that night, you'll watch it on pay-per-view. But it would mean a lot to me and to his family to support him. So
that's an awesome cause, dude. And he said it's on his Instagram, which off the top of my head, correct me if I'm wrong, at PGH Martinez for people who want to look it up. So go support Ben. Support his fight. Sounds like he's fighting a different kind of battle, a very important battle. So go support him.
Way more important than what I'm doing. So,
and then support Joao versus Nick. April 20th, Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, 247fighting.com. Choose Joao's name from the drop down whenever you buy tickets. It is a required field, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to support a fighter, you quite literally can't check out without doing so. So choose Joao. If you liked Nick earlier more, I won't tell Joao. You can choose Nick's name instead. You can choose any fighter on the card.
choose my name.
No, choose Joao.
I don't need another $9 check.
He needs more than $9, ladies and gentlemen.
$9.
So Nick's got a good job. He's got it figured out. He don't need this money.
Give it to Joao instead. Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Let him buy some tequila shots after the fight. Let's go. But yeah, dude, it's an honor to have you, man. We'll see you very soon for weigh-ins, and then it's fight night, brother. Let's do it again.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming in, bro.
Yep.
Where's the cheering? Where's the Danny Palm cheering? Lead us off. Yeah.